Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the last game of the Rugby Championship competition. This one, the Springboks taking on Argentina. This is going to be an entertaining game if last week's contest is anything to go by. But this contest, it is happening in South Africa, unlike last week when they were playing in Argentina. Looking through at what the table looked like at the start of this Rugby Championship round. South Africa, they were at the top of the bunch on 19. Argentina in second on 14. New Zealand and Australia jockeying for that third and fourth. But with the victory that New Zealand just pulled off over the Australians, now means that we see a little bit of a switch in the Rugby Championship table. New Zealand move up to second. So not only do Argentina want to win this game to get back to at least second, but if they pull off a massive win, and we are talking massive, they would win the Rugby Championship. For the Springboks, all they need from this contest is one singular point. They can get that from getting 3 or more tries than their opposition. They could get that from losing this game but being within 7. But of course, the way that the Springboks want to do it is they want to close out the Rugby Championship in style, get themselves the 5 points and say thanks very much for coming. But looking through at the starting side for South Africa, they've made a few changes compared to what we saw in the last game up against the Pumas. In the front row, one man who keeps a spot is Oxnashare, the absolute workhorse in that front row for the Springboks. Bongio Manambi and Franz Malharba return to the front row in the other two positions. Eben Etzebeth, he is now going to become the most capped Springbok of all time, surpassing Victor Matfield, and he has still got time to get towards that 150 as we move towards that Rugby World Cup in 2027. Ruan Nokia partnering with him. He is the man who's won the most lineouts out of any player for the Rugby Championship. Sia Khaleesi back at number 6. Some people didn't think that man was going to get any more game time after getting his face brutalised in the game up against New Zealand, but he is still standing and he's ready to go for this game on home soil. This is also the ground that Sia Khaleesi made his international rugby debut all those years ago. Peter Steph Toy at number 7, a welcome change for the Boks. He is an outstanding athlete, a workhorse. He is just everything you want out there on the field, and I feel like he could be also a game changer and a match winner for the green and gold. In this match, Jesper Visa back at number 8. They have continued to go with him all throughout this Rugby Championship, with the exception of the games up against Australia, where Elric Lowe did get the nod, but Lowe will be coming off the bench for this game as well. Jaden Hendrickse and Mani Libbok, the combination that has been criticised, that has been talked about the most throughout the week. Mani Libbok, can he handle the pressure here? It's such an important game up against Argentina. They need the points. They need him to have his X factor that we know that he has got. And he's with Jaden Hendrickse in their 9-10 channel. Damien Dealindi back into the midfield alongside Jesse Creel. We talked about the work rate of Oxnashare. Jesse Creel has started every single game of the Rugby Championship so far. Kurtley Arunsa out on the left wing. Cheslin Colby out on the right. And Upper Lele Fasi there at number 15. But that is the Springboks starting lineup. Looking through at the chat we have got there. And hi mate, says Regime, welcome in. Hope you are doing extremely well. Good luck, Bok. Thanks for your commentary, Hamish. Says Mitchell in the chat as well. And I should mention there is a game of the URC that is currently taking place. It is the Bulls taking on Edinburgh, currently at halftime in that contest. But the Bulls have got themselves a nice little lead. So we will keep you updated about that contest as well. We also saw the Lions have the first game for a South African side of the URC, pulling off the win up against Ulster. But looking through at this Argentine side, they have made many changes compared to what we saw in match number 1. Thomas Gaucho keeps his spot at number 1 though. Julio Montoya at 2 and Joel Scalavi will be the starting tight head prop. In the locked-in duo, Pedro Rubiolo keeps his position, but Thomas Lavanini moves into the starting side. Juan Matan Gonzalez at 6, that is rather than Pablo Matera, who will be making his way off the bench. Santiago Rondona moves into the starting side. That is due to the injury of Marcos Crema. Definitely not a player that Argentina wanted to be without heading into South Africa. Joaquin Oviedo there as the strong number 8 option. Garcia gets the start at number 9, I should say. That is Gonzalo Garcia, a man who got the last minute turnover to help Argentina secure that 1-point victory over the Springboks last week. Thomas Albanoz, a sensational player, and really showed off that X factor that I mentioned we want to see from Mani Libbok Albanos had that last week. He was breaking the line. He was kicking well, although still made a couple errors along the way. Want to really cement himself as that Argentinian 10. Santiago Carreras normally is there. He is now at number 15 for this game rather than Juan Cruz. Malia Santiago Shoka Barres, same boat for that man. He was formidable in the opening test. Matthias Maroni in the midfield. Mateo Carreras out on one wing. Rodrigo Isgro out on the other. And then Santiago Carreras, like I mentioned, the starting number 15. Go Argentina, says Jacob. Good luck, Bog. Thanks for your commentary, Hamish. Says Mitchell there. Hamish is streaming the Sharks game as well. Says Marcel. So we are going to be doing the Stormers game up against Ospreys, but we are going to be giving updates throughout that contest on what is happening for Sharks Connor. We're going to be doing a little bit of a co-commentary type scenario. So we'll keep you informed about both games at the same time. It's just the live stream will be called Stormers versus Ospreys. And 31 for South Africa, Argentina 15 is John's prediction there. What's up, Kiwi? Hope the Box run riot. Showing the Pumas huge respect on how they've improved. Southern Hemisphere is king, says Warren. And I mean, when we look through at Argentina, the fact that they have beaten every side of this rugby championship. Now, the only other team that can do that is actually the Springboks, but they have to beat Argentina here. But if they are able to do so, like I said, beating every other team, beating New Zealand in New Zealand, beating Australia after being defeated by 1 point the week prior, Hamish, be honest, as the point system relevant / fair, says Xander. I think if you're talking about the whole of the rugby championship, I think it is. I don't see anything wrong with it. One moment, we'll go like that. Like, at the end of the day, bonus points are a thing in all competitions. The scoring 3 or more than your opposition, I do like to a certain extent, because it means that if a side scores 4 tries, but their opposition score 8, they aren't rewarded. And I feel like, you know, like as a side, you want to score 4 tries, but if you score 4 tries and you lose a game, I feel like that's not really the equivalent of a point, if that makes sense. Yes, you've done extremely well, but maybe it's not quite worth as much as like a whole point to your name. But Australia, like, they've been struggling big time throughout this competition, that is for sure. They're going to have only single figures next to their name, but Argentina, New Zealand, and South Africa all jockeying for that first and second spot. At the moment, there are only 2 sides that can get first. That is Argentina and South Africa, and of course 3 sides that can theoretically get second place. But yeah, like it's one of those ones. I do like the system of you getting 3 or more. I know the point system where Ireland is number 1, says Xander. I mean, it's the same as any ladder. It's the same as any rankings pretty much that I have seen, in terms of, like, it's unfortunate for the Springboks that Ireland have gone to number 1 in the world, but that's one of those ones that I don't think many South African supporters are too worried about that, because in the November internationals, South Africa will have a very good shot of getting that number 1 spot back. But, like, I think I've seen people complaining that Ireland shouldn't get to 1 because they haven't played a game, but then they played their games during the Six Nations where they went up and down in the rankings. So South Africa can't actually get any points on the world rankings from this game, which is rather unfortunate. It's because of the technicality of Argentina being outside of 7 points behind them. And when does the kickoff, says Music Anime? It is in 52 minutes, so it is going to be absolutely flying by. We are looking at all the stats, the interesting ones to do with this head-to-head, including the one that Argentina have really struggled to pull off wins in South Africa. 17 of the 18 times they have tried, they have failed. Even if Argentina win, they have to keep South Africa from having a losing bonus point. The odds are very much against Argentina, says Marcel. Exactly right. The only time we like the rankings is when your team is number 1, says Sakabula. And also we have got there, you got a Bok tie too, bro. Look at you go, says Industry. And there as well. I have considered getting a green tie, I will mention. It's just more of the fact that with the green screen, normally you can't actually see the tie if it was pure green. But maybe if I got like a dark green, it would work out not too badly and might be a little bit more easily spotted, I guess you could say. But looking through at some of the interesting stats for this game, we will be getting to in a very short moment. But first of all, looking through at the interesting fixtures that we have seen both of these sides play. For South Africa, they were able to get themselves the win over the Australians, 33 points to 7. A fantastic win for the Boks to start off their rugby championship comp. Definitely away from home. 2 massive wins over Australia, who have really underperformed throughout this whole Rugby Championship. But the second game, South Africa winning at 30 points to 12, then pulling off 2 victories over New Zealand, both with a margin of less than 7. So New Zealand getting those bonus points in both of those fixtures. But 31 points to 27 that first game. It was intense. It had a real test match feel about it. And then we got to see the exact same environment the week after. 18 points to 12. The Boks also victorious, but the one blemish on their Rugby Championship, which at the start, in fact, only about 60 minutes through their last game up against Argentina, it looked like it was going to be a clean sweep for the Springbok. Argentina pulling off their last minute win. 29 points to 28. The Boks here want redemption. They have stacked their side. They have the passion. They have the crowd behind them. It's going to be a mountain to climb for Argentina if they want any shot of beating the Springboks here. But what we've learned about this Argentine side is they are willing to pull their socks up, get gritty, get grindy, and try and really fight for a victory. Looking through at their Rugby Championship, like I said, they've beaten every side. They beat Australia by 40 points, 67 points to 27. They were down by 20 in that game. Their game up against South Africa, pretty similar. South Africa scoring early tries, but in the end, they were able to fire back. Argentina also beating New Zealand in New Zealand, 38 points to 30. Although I can confirm New Zealand have just broken the Wellingtonian curse, getting themselves the win over Australia by 20 to try and shut down that Sky Stadium voodoo that we've seen for quite some time. But looking at the chat, we have got thanks Hamish from Cold Wet Cape Town, and I love to see the Pumas win this one because I feel like they deserve to finish second. Outstanding campaign. I agree. Like, it's a shame that they have to win this game to get first or second. Like, it would be ideal. Like, overall, like you said, they've had a better campaign, I believe, than New Zealand. Yes, New Zealand pulled off 2 wins up against Australia, but Argentina, with the exception of those final moments up against them in that first test match, Argentina could have had 2 wins and they could have been a lot higher up. But of course, that didn't quite happen for them. But yeah, third place, I feel like it's still a very honourable third place if they were to get third in the overall standings. We have there Hamish, you know the game and better verse than many so understanding. ML starting the Boks will ignore the goal kicks first half, a running first 45 minutes, says Warren. And also we have got there, go the Boks, says Joshua. And non-drawn game, Boks the winner 42-18 is the prediction from Joshua. South Africa will win, says Roy. Edward is in the chat as well. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're all excited for the kickoff. We're only around 45 minutes away, which sounds like a little while, but it will absolutely fly by. There's also a game taking place between Edinburgh and the Bulls. At the moment, I can confirm that the score in that game, for anyone who is curious, for anyone who isn't, be sure to block your ears and close your eyes. The score after 46 minutes, Bulls sitting on 12, Edinburgh on 10. So a close fixture in the URC. The Lions dominant in their game earlier on over Ulster. Perhaps we could see a clean sweep, not just for the South African URC sides, but also for South Africa in South Africa throughout this Rugby Championship. Did you see the Bok team photo with Eben's daughter in the coach's seat? A real cutie, says Hillary. I mean, of course, Eben is the big talking point of this game. The most capped Springbok in history is right around the corner for that man. Now, of course, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We don't know if there's an injury of some sort. Hopefully there isn't. But he seemed 100% fit the last time that I saw him training. It's just one of those interesting ones, isn't it? How far can Eben Etzebeth go? Because he's already got himself, after this game, the most caps out of any Springbok in history. Can he get to the 150? Will he be there for the 2027 World Cup? How much is left in Eben Etzebeth's gas tank? I believe there's a lot. And I don't think he'll be slowing down. I feel like he will want to keep on staying as active as he physically can and just get as much time out there on the field alongside those younger players, help develop the next generation of talent. Did you watch the Sharks beating the Lions game? Was a crazy ending? I certainly did. I did stream that game. You can see my reaction on the channel as well in a short video. Yeah, all the Lions had to do was kick that ball out, and they failed to do that, and straight away the Sharks with Jordan Hendrickse, an ex-Lions player, finished the job. Hello from Ireland. Patrick O'Brien here. How you doing, lads? Doing very well. It is currently 3:15 a.m. here in New Zealand, so I should be more asleep or slightly more tired than I am, but I feel like because the Springboks are playing any time that is the reality of a weekend, I'm always wide awake. What time are they playing? They are playing in 45 minutes time. It will be 5 p.m. local time in South Africa. Here in New Zealand, we actually very recently had daylight savings, so we did actually skip forward an hour. And Lions was Currie Cup champions for 10 seconds. Says Sakabola and Island number 1. It's all that matters. Any more jokes? Says Rugby. And what time are they playing? So it will be 5 p.m. South African time that the game is taking place. And it is going to be a sold-out stadium, I would assume. As you can see, there are empty seats behind me, but that will not be the case when this game starts. It's going to be outstanding rugby from start to finish. But looking through at some of the interesting stats, ladies and gentlemen, throughout this rugby championship, when we look at some of the stats that normally Argentina don't dominate in, they have got some very impressive ones throughout this year. For tries scored, believe it or not, at the start of this round, Argentina are the leading try scorers in this competition. They have got 19. New Zealand and South Africa both had 17. Now, of course, New Zealand have played since then, so they have changed how many tries they have got, and Australia had 10. They only scored 1 up against New Zealand, though, recently, so that is where they will remain. In terms of clean breaks, South Africa have had 33. The second most out of any side in the competition, but just behind them, Argentina sitting there on 31. New Zealand have had the most carries. South Africa in second with 589. South Africa have the most meters gained with 2,288 compared to Argentina, who had 2,203. So these two sides have actually had the most in that regard. And then also defenders beaten. There's only 4 difference between the sides. 109 for the Boks, 105 for New Zealand, for Argentina. The Pumas play smart, they can win, says Claus there. And where exactly is the clip of you of the Lions versus Sharks ending? I need to see it now, says Andor. It is on the channel in the video section. It has got there my final moments reaction to that Currie Cup final that did take place. Interesting stat in the tackling department. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa have the lowest tackling percentage throughout the Rugby Championship, but they have not conceded the most tries. So it's one of those ones, yes, you could look at a stat and say that it tells you something, but in that case, I think it just means that South Africa, yes, they've missed a few tackles, but they still managed to regain that little bit of a gap that they expose, and that is one of the beauties of their defence. I was talking with one of the other Kiwi lads, George, a little bit earlier on in the week, and he mentioned about the Wallabies defence, how when you compare the two, it is night and day. The Springboks look structured, they look set when the ball is about to come out of that breakdown. For the Wallabies, they are always scrambling, and that makes it very easy to concede tries. Whereas for South Africa, that is why they really concede too many. Pumas need to continue the slick offloads with the pace, says Claus, and yeah, that was something that they did extremely well up against South Africa last week. We've got a few of the stats to do with that game as well. In terms of the offloads, Argentina have had 35, whereas 19 for South Africa. And at this competition, guys, where can I stream the game? It depends on whereabouts you are in the world. Will depend on your options. DSTV is your best option if you're in South Africa, but of course, that is a paid subscription. If you're in Australia, it's on Stan. If you're in New Zealand, it's on Sky. If you're in USA, I believe it's on Flow Rugby. And then Rugby Pass TV has New Zealand's games, but I'm not sure about the South African ones. Cover D is better, says Doctor. And yeah, for the South Africans, there's always someone else there ready to make that tackle. And that's why Argentina's offloading game is so crucial for this game, because if they aren't able to get those offloads away, South Africa, I believe their defense will slowly strangle them. And it sounds brutal, but it's true. We've seen South Africa be able to do it to sides before. Go the Bok, let's do this, says Suzanne there. And afternoon, people, are you ready for the final game? I'm so excited. Today, good luck to the teams, says Daniel Davids. Okay, New Zealand is now, is 11 hours ahead now, says Bruce. And got a high line, says Rikus. Will this channel show us the full game? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube, but we are going to be trying our absolute best to give you the play-by-play of what is happening in the contest. It is not too far away from starting up, around 40 minutes. Teams are getting ready to go, ready to make their way onto the field. And I feel like there are quite a few players that need big performances here. In particular, I think that the Springbok bench, we need to see a little bit more from them than we saw last week. Now, of course, they have gone back to the 5-3 for this game. We didn't get to see the bomb squad per se in action in Argentina. It was more so different players getting given that opportunity. But for South Africa, it is Malcolm Marx, Gerhard Stennekamp, and Vincent Koch as the front row, Eldrick Lowe and Quagga Smith as the rest of the forward replacements. Now, Eldrick Lowe and Quagga have both had really strong rugby championships. Eldrick Lowe brought in due to the injury of Evan Roos, and he did well up against the Australians. In fact, he did so well that I thought they may have given him some more game time up against New Zealand and up against Argentina. But then came the return of Jasper Wiese, and he managed to get himself straight back into the starting side, and that is where Wiese has remained ever since. He did return Quagga Smith. He is an impact player and a half. He scored a few handy tries throughout this rugby championship, but didn't really have that same impact last week up against Argentina. In fact, it was probably one of the games that you could argue Quagga had his most quiet performance up against Argentina off the bench last week. So, of course, normally if he has a quiet game, the next game is absolutely phenomenal. So be sure to keep an eye out for Quagga Smith here. Cobus Reinach, the replacement 21, with Honore Pollard at 22 and Lucan Yoam, number 23. Three men who were in the starting lineup last week alongside Malcolm Marx. And that'll be an interesting dynamic to see later on, where they are going to be making their way on. Pollard, is he going to be 12 or is he going to replace Mani Libok? Lucan Yoam, does he go into 12 or 13? He's been playing more 12 throughout the Rugby Championship at this point. For Argentina, Inacio Ruiz, Calles and Delgado, they continue to give new players opportunity. Molina and Matera as the other forward replacements. Then Bazin Velez, so no Gonzalo Burjano for this game. Lucio Cinti and Juan Cruz Malia, a man who I thought was a guarantee to start this match with the way that he's been playing throughout the Rugby Championship, but they decide instead to give him that chance coming off the bench. In the chat we have got there, Go the Box says Bernice. And also I found your clip, man, that was a classic moment, poor Lions. And every time I wear my Bok jersey, we lose. For this game, I've hidden the darn thing under my bed, says Neil Harvey. We have got there a drinking game. Every time someone asks to show the game, Hamish takes a drink of water. I would be fully submerged by the end of this live stream, I would say. Go the Box says Darian. And Colby will cut shapes to the try line. A bridge too far for RG. Great season regardless, says Shane. And that's the thing, like, Cheslin Colby has found a way through many defences in the past. And in this game, he's going head-to-head with Mateo Carreras, a man who made Sever Reese look absolutely ordinary. Now, I don't think he'll be able to do that same thing to Cheslin Colby. In fact, normally Colby is the man that makes people look out of position and out of form. But it's just one of those head-to-heads that maybe 12 months ago, people wouldn't have had as much anticipation and as much excitement about, because we've seen Mateo Carreras become a superstar for Argentina out on that wing. He has power, he has pace. Cheslin Colby, we saw him bump off Scott Barrett earlier on in the Rugby Championship, so we know for sure that that man's got some power behind him. And just those two going head-to-head, it's going to be must-see. And it is only around 30 minutes away. Last week, South Africa started quick and took a lot of risks. We were unable to keep that up for long. They need to relax and play like normal, where we beat any team in the world. Says Mull, and Kobus is an explosive number 9. Let's hope he comes on early. Says Barry, although Jaden Hendrickson, when given this chance in the starting lineup before for the Springboks, he's had some good moments. He's just a little bit maybe under form in terms of minutes that he's played, unfortunately, recently. Cheer from Amsterdam, bro. I'm Argentine, but I see a walk in the park for the Boks. Peter Steph-Toy will dominate. Any game Peter Steph-Toy is in the starting lineup, you know it's going to be a good one. And you know he's going to put absolutely everything into the contest. What channel says Sniper King? This one, in terms of Sky Sport for us here in New Zealand, it is on Sky Sport 1. I'm not too sure about DSTV, though, unfortunately. I'm not too familiar with what one it will be on. From memory, it's like 221, but I could be completely wrong. I think Lucania will have more to show us. Sees music, anime, and I mean, he's in that scenario that he really needs to step up in this contest, because if Lucania can't, maybe he lacks minutes in the future. Maybe he doesn't quite get those opportunities that you would expect. And Bok by 20 says Drizzy Goat in there. No sound, bro, says Andrew. Hopefully that is just for yourself, Andrew. Can everyone else hear me all right? I don't drink, but I want to drink. I'm scared to see the final score for today. Nice to hear your voice say, says Bongi in the chat as well. And it is greatly appreciated you being here for this contest. Anyone who is new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got plenty more coming, not just for, I guess, the Rugby Championship, seeing as it's coming to a close, but we will have a Team of the Week, hopefully out in the very near future. Alongside that, we are going to be doing quite a few videos based around the URC and also live streams of URC matches. We've got one happening straight after this game, which is going to be the Stormers when they do take on the Ospreys. Then also the November internationals are coming up very soon. Argentina, first of all, they have got Italy, Ireland, and France. A couple really tough games. And also, I guess one of those matches that could, in my opinion, go either way. Playing Italy in Italy, they are once again, like Argentina, an emerging side that have the potential of beating some of the top teams. They've got Ireland and France, two games that New Zealand also will have throughout their end-of-year tour. For South Africa, they have got Scotland, who they did face in the first game of the Rugby World Cup. They have got England, who they did face in the semi-final of the Rugby World Cup. And then they have got Wales, a side that they faced in the pre-season of the July internationals and found themselves getting a solid win there. So for South Africa, of course, that big match that everyone wants to see is the rematch between Ireland and the Springboks. We have to wait a little bit longer, though. 2025 is hopefully when we will see that match take place. And in the chat, we have got Argentina are world class at changing their game plan very quickly. The problem is we change ours and Argentina remained on their usual plan. Says Marlon, kia ora. Says Tar, welcome in, mate. Who is better for South Africa, Franco Mostert or RG Snyman? Depends on what you're looking for. In terms of starting, I would say Franco Mostert at number 5. If you're talking about a guy who can cut a game open late, though, that is RG Snyman. Although, sadly, has been plagued with injuries, which has left him out of getting consistent minutes for the Springboks. I saw an interesting stat, and that was that in all of the games that Eben Etzebeth has played, he has not ever started a game with RG Snyman. Anytime Snyman has been on the verge of getting into that starting lineup alongside Etzebeth, they've either had someone else there, such as a Mostert or a Ludiacha, or he's been injured. Unfortunately, Faf de Klerk is still injured. When we be back, says Adele, I want to say the November tour is where they're thinking Faf will be able to return, but I haven't got an exact date as of yet. There's actually quite a few halfbacks who will hopefully be returning in November. For New Zealand, Cam Roigard. Ireland, I want to say Jameson Gibson Park may not quite be back. Hopefully back for the Six Nations, though, in the future. We'll get there, stop saying RG in an English accent. Names are pronounced how they pronounce. Simple, says Mel. I know, people get frustrated at how I say RG. But I feel like if that's the only name that people have been complaining about, I've been doing all right. We have got there, where is South Africa going to play? They are going to be playing in South Africa. If you're talking about the November internationals, all of them are northern for the matches. They are going to be playing in the respective countries of England, Wales, and Scotland. We have got there, good afternoon all. And 3:30 hours in the UK. Looking forward to this game all week. Springboks to clip the Pumas' claws today, says Kerno Wick. And there as well. And what's the next big rugby game after this match, Hamish, says Judy? I would say, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're talking about the URC, there are some big games that are going to be just around the corner. But in terms of the next big international, it's probably in the first week of November. And it's either going to be New Zealand versus England, I think will be right up there. Scotland versus South Africa, I think could be a really strong game. But in terms of matches that people are really, really looking forward to, I'd say for the first week, it's New Zealand versus South Africa. I think England versus South Africa is the one that maybe South African supporters are looking forward to the most. Good afternoon, says Tian. And we have got there, hello, Hamish, says Byron. I think the Springboks defence might be solid this time. And we have got there, it's like telling you to pronounce island names properly, says Trajan. And there as well. We have got the Ireland All Blacks. Will be the best game in November. And Sina Sada doing what you do. Sina Sada doing what you're doing. He sounds like an arrogant as knob. A Sada? A setter. What is a setter? Where is a setter from? Volta, do let me know. Oh, we have, oh, sorry, that's Walter, is it? Or is it Volta? Do let me know. But nonetheless, we are getting close to the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. 30 minutes away. Game between Edinburgh and the Bulls. Extremely close at the moment. A South African, says Walter. And there as well. Is there more games tonight? We are actually going to be covering a URC contest that is happening straight after this one. It is going to be going between the Stormers and Ospreys, but we are also letting you know what is happening throughout the game, which is Sharks and Connacht. So there's 2 URC fixtures a little bit later on. They will be kicking off at 8:30 or so p.m. South African time. Good afternoon from South Africa, says Corinne. Welcome in. It's a few rugby YouTubers who have come to South Africa recently. When are you coming, says Mel? Probably not in the near future. I think that those fellows probably are getting paid way better than myself. I cannot afford to go to South Africa, sadly. Welcome back, Hamish, says Springbok Replay Zone. How good were the Lions, bro? They did really well up against Ulster. They were able to control the game, and there were times where Ulster started to fire back, and they'll be happy that they got the losing bonus point for getting the 4 tries. But the Lions knew that they needed to win that game with the bonus, get themselves the 5 points, because at the end of the day, like, they were only just very, very slimly cut out of the quarterfinals last year. Hello from Cape Town, says Shaz. Welcome in. And we have got there in the chat, fellow RG here watching, and can't wait till the kickoff. Says Daniel, come through. Put you in my house for 5 days, weekdays, not during December or July or August, says Mel. And also we got there your Bala. I'm not too sure what that means, but hopefully it's not bad. And so we got long date night, go the Stormers, says Clinton. Yep, so even after the Springboks versus Pumas game, we are still going to have plenty more that will be taking place. We have there Espanol, bienvenido de nuevo al canal Kiwi Lads. That's all I know. Unfortunately, what's your prediction, says Bart? I'm going to stick with what I went with in my original prediction, and I actually predicted, what did I predict? 35-20. I believe was my, 35-20 was my score prediction. I'm liking the suit. Hamish, this is probably your regular suit. Says Morne Lagrange. We have got there, my prediction is you are a, I don't know what that means. I assume it's some sort of insult. So I guess right back at you. Thanks, brother. Says Giuseppe. Egg Chaser's YouTuber has gone completely biased to the South Africans. It's actually hard to watch his vids anymore unless you're a Safa. Says Rugby there. And also we have got there, come on the underdogs, says Daniel as well. But at the moment there is a water break taking place between Edinburgh and the Stormers, which is taking place at the same time as we are doing this build-up. Currently a very close one, 13 points to Edinburgh, 12 points to the Bulls. We have got there, we have got New Zealand knocked out Italy in the 2010 Soccer World Cup. Pool stages 1-1. New Zealand were actually the only team in that Football World Cup that didn't lose a game. Fun fact, they had a few draws and whatnot, but overall, a pretty decent comp. Speaking of the comp, South Africa, in this lineup, they have gone with Oxnashare, Bongio Manambi, and Franz Malharba. We mentioned how last week it was a little bit more of an experimental side for the Springboks. They knew they had to make the changes, and originally Rassi had the plan. He was going to leave behind some of his big dogs and get them ready to go for this game, which meant that we did not see Umbanambi, we did not see Malharba, we did not see Peter Steftatoy, Deal Lindy, Colby. All of those men did not travel in the last week's game, but they are there now. They are dangerous. Definitely Peter Steftatoy. When we talk about the guys who have been brought back in, that guy can change a game. Deal Lindy, he can make running meters, but can he handle Santiago Shoka Barres, a man who a lot of people maybe don't realise how good he can be, but he certainly has shown it throughout the Rugby Championship. So hopefully we see a bit more of him in the future as well. I was going to try and drink water while still talking. That would have been a terrible idea, and that would have gone very badly wrong, I would think. But this is the starting lineup for Argentina. Thomas Albanoz, fantastic game last week alongside Santiago Shoka Barres. So Argentina are stuck with that same 10 and 12 combo, whereas South Africa have completely changed theirs. Mani Libok getting the start at 10. He needs a great game because he is low in confidence, he is low in support, and he will want to really go out there and show everyone why he's in that Springbok squad. Some people asking for Sasha, not realizing that Sasha Feinberg Zulu currently has an injury. He'll hopefully be back in November, though. In the back three, they've made some drastic changes as well. Rodrigo Isgro, some people will know him from the sevens for Argentina. Santiago Carreras moves into number 15. That is rather than Juan Cruz Malia, who has been consistently the best option at 15 for Argentina. But one thing stays the same, and that is Mateo Carreras. He is an absolute unit, a beast of an individual out on the wing. Doesn't have that same size as Rodrigo Isgro, but I would argue he has that same strength. It's like a little bulldog going head-to-head with Cheslin Colby. We have got there in the chat as well. I don't see Moura either. Apparently he was in the team, though. Says Sandor, so tell me, Hamish, is your tie, or is your black and your tie blue? Says Mornay. And I have got more blue than last week because I have a blue tie, at least this week. Last week I had the black tie on. I don't have a butler. But I'll send someone to the airport to fetch you to make you feel special, don't worry, says Mull in there as well. And we have got there, good afternoon everyone, says Jeremy, welcome in. And people forget the high level IQ with gameplays that Mani Libok has showed many times. And as Sia Khaleesi playing today, he certainly is. Back out there on the field, I was told when that man was injured that he was not going to return for the Rugby Championship. But I feel like he heard that and he said, no, you know what? I'm going back out there. I'm going to try and win my side the Rugby Championship. And yes, this competition has maybe gone a little bit closer down to the wire than they would have liked, but they are still in the box seat, pardon the pun, and they will remain there up until we see Argentina in this game. If they get like 3 or 4 quick-fire tries, it's going to be one of those ones that maybe, just maybe, there is a chance South Africa don't win, but the chances are extremely high for them to go in and get themselves the Rugby Championship. They are just showing the highlights of last week's game. Some early backline movements were the key for the South Africans. Apalele Fassi scoring early. We also saw Jesse Creel breaking the line with the great run. He wants to lift the cup, says Sandor. And also we've got the good afternoon, says the same fella. And Marty Libok cost our number 1 ranking. He better, Libok, better have a good game. Says Morna the Grange, and we have got their very cloudy weather. Where are they playing today? So it is going to be in Mbombela. I've hopefully pronounced that correctly, but it is actually around 29 degrees Celsius at the moment at the ground. So it's going to be a hot one, similar to how they played in Argentina last week. The conditions are going to make it so that we think we're going to get a slower paced game, but then we don't. Like last game was absolutely fast-paced, balls to the wall, all-out speed throughout the full 80 minutes. And I wonder whether or not the two sides can do that twice in a row. Number 1 ranking. Just go have a look in the trophy cabinet. There's your ranking. Says Sandor. And don't we only need a single point? That is correct, yes. So if South Africa lose this game by 8 points, but Argentina still aren't able to get themselves 3 or more tries than their opposition, South Africa will still win the Rugby Championship. So unless we see, for instance, about a maybe 15-point win for Argentina, which would be absolutely insane, just to mention some of the head-to-head stats between these two sides, they aren't in favour of Argentina. Definitely not when playing in South Africa. Just looking through at the previous record, Argentina have only won 1 game playing in South Africa, which is pretty impressive that they have only been able to get that 1 victory, and that was 25 points to 37 back in 2015. So it's almost been a decade since the last time Argentina were able to pull off a win in South Africa. Sasha Feinberg is a better goal kicker than Libok. No disrespect to Libok, says Morna Lagrange, although something that Libok has over Sasha at the moment is he's not injured. Sasha not available for this game. Mornay Stain, you could say he's a better goal kicker, but he's retired. You know, it's one of those ones that you can only put on the field what you have available. And Mani Libok at the moment is the option that Rassi Erasmus has backed. He said straight up, he said, Libok, we're backing him. And we've seen that a lot of people have gone against him, but he's still our guy that we want to have in the side. Pronounced correctly, Amish all, says Pierre, welcome in. And come on, Argentina, just run at them, go for it, says Daniel James. Now, something else that I mentioned last week about Argentina is they start matches up against South Africa extremely well. They normally lead at halftime, and that just sounds like something I'm making up, but in the stats, they actually are very impressive for the first half. They normally are leading, but then at the end of the game, that is when we normally see South Africa pull it off and get the win. I'll take 100 Lebok over Earl Rose and Yankees all day long, says Zandor. And South Africa focus too much on what's in front of them. And Marnie can score 3 tries, but we will complain he misses kicks, says Mal. And we've got a new member on the channel, Andre. Thank you very much for hitting that membership button, mate. Who is kicking at the goal, I believe, for South Africa. It will be Marnie Lebok. For the Argentines, I assume it will be Santiago Carreras, but it could be Thomas Albanoz, actually, seeing as he's also in the starting side. Rossi needs to be replaced too. He plays too much, says Charles. And there's no hate for Lebok, but the man has to kick today, and it's pretty much over. And we have got that says Miss, and no cap, South Africa wins this one, says JJ. So I do want to know your score predictions as well, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting very close to the kickoff of this contest, less than 20 minutes away. Also, if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 57,000 on the channel, so if you want to help us get there, do hit that subscribe button. Is Cheslin going to play? He certainly is. He's out on the right wing for this contest. An electric winger is Cheslin Colby going face-to-face with Mateo Carreras. And when we talk about head-to-heads, that's the one I'm looking forward to. I would say the most. Second most for me is actually going to be Lebok versus Albanoz, because they're both playmakers who can get try assists and score tries for fun. But the battle could be in the kicking tee. And I know that a lot of people are a little bit worried about it, but at the same time, if South Africa scores 7 tries in this game, it's not really going to matter if Marnie Lebok is getting those kicks over. Yes, in the long run, it might be a bit of a concern, but if they're going to win this game and they win it comfortably, that will be something very handy for South Africa. Cheslin rocks. He's certainly a fantastic player, that is for sure. Is Pollard playing? He is. He's going to be making his way off the bench. Sasha probably out for the year. Knee taking longer than initially thought to heal, according to Western Province coach, says Doon there. And hello all, says Dunny. Welcome in. Hope you are keeping well. 7 tries. And that is 14 extra points, says Tian. Yeah, but you've also got to look at the 15 points from the try assists that Marnie Lebok probably would have gotten. Like, I know that his goal kicking has been criticised a lot, and normally, like, it's only every once in a while. It's only because his confidence is so low, because the whole of the country is trying to turn against him, that he's starting to get into that position where he's doubting himself. He doesn't think he's the same player he once was, whereas when Lebok is playing with confidence, that is when he's on his A game. And of course, your question, Lynette has said hi in there as well. Welcome in. Hope you are keeping extremely well. The box 32, Pumas 15 is Ernest's prediction. So of course, please keep on putting in your score predictions. Let me know who you think will win this game. Half time between these two sides in the last contest, it was 26 points to 22. Not the whole country, just a few old timers stuck in the past, says Sandor. But yeah, 26-22 at half time, and then the game went on to only have, I believe it was 9 points scored throughout the second half, not a single try. So you wonder whether or not that will be the case in this matchup, or whether both sides will be able to continue their try scoring from the first 40 and bring it into the second as well. Pat Lambie used to take kicks. We would usually use Stain for many years ago, says Mel. And we have got there Mr. Kiwi Lads. What time is it in New Zealand? It is currently 3:43 a.m. So it's late or early, depending on how you're looking at it. This game is going to be kicking off in 17 minutes though, so we are not too far away from the start, and it is going to be an absolutely epic one when we do get to see these two sides go head-to-head. Lebok, a straight strategist and game changer, says Bones. And I've got Argo by 1, or Argentina by 1. And do you have a Discord to watch the game? We do not know, because that is also illegal to do. The last time I saw a Mort, he was getting a hiding from Bernie Fraser in 1981. And where are you streaming from? We are streaming from New Zealand. Argentina never back up week to week, so naturally they'll go back to back, says Sandor. But that's the thing, like, they backed up a game up against Australia that they were down by 20. They went on to win by 40, and then they went on to beat the current world champions. So, like, Argentina, they have never beaten South Africa twice in a row. But, like, I don't think they're going to. That's the thing. I can see them having a decent showing, but I just can't see it happening here. I should mention, though, a side that is about to get themselves the win in the URC. The Bulls are winning their contest up against Edinburgh, 22 points to 13. Box all the way, says Linnett. Country's not against the block. He has proven to lack BMT in the big games without pressure. He is great under pressure, not so much. It isn't personal. Against Marnie, says Sean. And we have good there, morning Hamish, says Malcolm there as well. What's your prediction, Mr. Kiwi lads? I have gone, in my original prediction, I went with 35-20 in favour of South Africa. I do think that could be a little bit harsh against Argentina, though. We go there, some BS. Mackenzie one-hit wonder, says Connor Beast there. And this is their best opportunity to get 2 wins in a row against South Africa, says Arcade of Dreams. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is get that first win. But now that they've got it, like we said, it's going to be the perfect opportunity for Argentina to show everyone that they're finding consistency, because they haven't been able to do that throughout the last few years. Didn't the URC just finish not long ago, says Sandor? It finished probably about 4 months ago. Oh no, maybe a little bit sooner, maybe 2 or 3 months ago that it did finish. We have got there, can I share a stream for the game for the people? Will that affect your channel, says Mel? It like YouTube themselves won't notice, but if you're like doing illegal links, then the broadcasters may get a bit angry. Thoughts on their previous game, says JB? I think that, and you're talking about New Zealand by the looks of it, I mean, New Zealand looked a lot better in their last game, but there was still a lot that could be improved. So the fact that they got 33 points in a little bit of a poor showing at times is great signs for them. But then saying that Australia just weren't in that game, unfortunately, other than the first kind of 15 or so minutes where where Australia looked really strong. Apart from that, they just kind of drifted away and didn't really back it up. But looking through at Argentina, they were able to beat this New Zealand side in round number 1. The second game, though, 42 points to 10. And I feel like there's still a little bit of a concern that may be the case here for this game up against South Africa. A score that has about 30 points in favour of the green and gold world champs. Last game, though, Argentina at home, 29 points to 28. It was warm. This game is going to be played in hot conditions as well, though, so I don't think that will favour either side, both wanting to play it at a high tempo. And I think with Marnie Libok and Jaden Hendrickse, there will be a little bit more of an attacking element than what we normally would see from the Springboks, although they went pretty all-out attacking in the early stages up against Los Pumas. For South Africa, they were looking to complete the clean sweep, but then beaten by Argentina, kind of halted that momentum, but they can still win every game on home soil if they are able to beat Argentina in this contest. 2 wins over Australia, 2 wins over New Zealand, just the 1 win on the cusp for the Springboks over Los Pumas. But this game now 10 minutes away, ladies and gentlemen. We are very close, which means we are very excited for the start of this contest. Do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen, as well as who you think will score the first try of this match. There's no way they're winning us today here at home. And Loftus, meaning praises, says Mostern there. And 43-14 is the prediction for Metric. South Africa by 6. And Smith just said he is recalling Croc Dundee to play for the Wallabies in the November test. Says Rugby. And we have got there, so it's their fault if they lose. If they keep persisting with them, kicking Fuff will be a better halfback in league. And Kiwi Lads 2024 says Justin there as well. But like I said, anyone who isn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to a massive milestone of 57,000, but they are just showing Eben Etzebeth there. He is about to become the most capped Springbok in history, going ahead of Victor Matfield. Sia Khaleesi, he is on 88. Peter Steftatoya on 83. Those two men, of course, will be wanting to bring up the 100, but by the time they get there, I mean, for Khaleesi, he will probably be 34, if not closer to 35. Peter Steftatoya, at the ripe age of 32, has been playing some of the best rugby we have seen from him in recent times. Interesting that Jaden Hendrickse and Marnie Libok actually have the same amount of caps, both having 17. Lot of pressure on that 9-10 combination. I think this is going to be a tough game, says Lynette, for South Africa to stand a chance. They mustn't play that useless Libok. And we have got there 54-13 to Argentina, says Christopher. Well, that would certainly secure them the Rugby Championship, that is for sure. I always find it surprising when I see Cheslin Kolbe's only got 37 caps. Like, he has 16 more than Kurt Liarenza, which I find it very hard to believe. You know, when you look at Kolbe and you look at what he's been able to do, Lucanio Arm's a little bit in the same boat because he's only had 39 caps. Cobus Reinach's had 36. Quagga Smith is in there with 48. Sia Khaleesi should go into acting after retirement. Not coaching, imagine him in Black Panther 3. Epic stuff. Says Rugby. How much are you making on your channel? I was thinking of becoming a woman mud wrestling commentator, says Charles. I would say go for it. There's certainly a market there. But a sold-out crowd here. And I should mention, this is also where we saw Sia Khaleesi make his international debut. So a massive chance for him. If South Africa wins or earns a bonus point from the match, they will take the title on competition points. If there is a draw, South Africa will take the title on competition points. If Argentina wins with no bonus point and South Africa do not get a bonus point, then South Africa will take the title on competition points, is the screen that they have just shown. Now, I should mention, if Argentina win this game with a bonus point and South Africa do not get themselves a bonus point from this game, then Argentina would be crowned the champions due to superior head-to-head results over South Africa. Hopefully that makes sense. Pretty much any way that you look at it, Argentina will need to win this game and win it comfortably to be able to get themselves the Rugby Championship. The chances are slim, but you just never know. The last time that they played and last time that they actually won in South Africa was in Durban. That was way back in 2015. But they did win that game 25 points to 37. So I wonder whether or not they won that contest by 3 or more. We have got there, Hamish. What will you do if you met a girl you liked and found out that her ex was Sia Khaleesi and they're still good friends? Says Rugby. That seems like a very strange, out of nowhere question. Would you like to see, or would you see anything rugby player on border security Australia from what country? Would you see any rugby player on border security Australia from what country? I guess, wait. So you're saying to me to answer who you think, or who I think would be the most likely to be a criminal out of any player? Interesting. I don't think I can answer that one. We have got there, hi says Ryan, hi says good hard, welcome in boys, welcome in. Hope you are excited for this contest. We are only 8 minutes away, both sides just about to make their way out of the tunnels, and then we are ready for 80 minutes of all-out, hard-hitting rugby between these two great rugby championship sides. In terms of the game between Edinburgh and the Bulls, it does look like the Bulls should be able to get themselves the win there. Kane and Moody out there on the field, 22 points to 13, the current score, with 5 minutes remaining. But Springboks ready to go in front of, like I said, a sold-out crowd. The atmosphere is electric. They are rearing to go for another contest. Just shooting in, have the Springboks won yet? They have not. They have not started, but they will be hoping to get themselves the big win there at Mbombela Stadium. And we have got their high, says Gavin. I think we just saw some people with body paint on making a lion, which is actually very impressive. I do have to say, are you showing the game? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube, sadly. But we will be doing the play-by-play commentary all throughout the match, as well as the URC fixture later on that is taking place between Stormers and Ospreys. We have got there, you have to give it to Marnie. How he still has any confidence after receiving so much hate is beyond me, says Lockin. And I feel like the thing that has kept Marnie Libok, I guess, focused is the fact that his teammates back him. And that's something that is a pretty powerful thing, because the coach has said, I'm backing Marnie. Rassi Erasmus, that is, saying Marnie is still going to be in the team. Then you look at the team, and they're saying, look, Marnie Libok, yes, he's had some moments, but he's still a part of the team. He's still the green and gold. And Bongio Manambi said it pretty well, because he mentioned he's at a moment where he was considered as the outcast of the Springbok side when he cost them a game back in the day. It looks like the Warriors are about to run onto the field now. The fire is blasting and we are ready to go almost, ladies and gentlemen, for this contest. Have Libok there, just not for the kicking. Exactly right. There are ways around it that they can use. Just heard Sasha's injury more severe Yeah, unfortunately, he tried to play through a bit of an injury, and it's actually cost him a lot more time. So, as a young player, he will learn that maybe sometimes you got to trust your body and know that if you're hurting, got to have a break. Hope Evan gets amongst the scorers, says Katama. That would be pretty awesome if Evan Etzebeth in the game where he is going to be the most capped, and they've actually got a massive sign that has Evan 128 on it. It's going to be pretty special for Eben Etzebeth to make his way out onto that field and know that this game, even though, yes, you're in that situation, he has already said this game is for the team, not for me, but whole of South Africa is behind that man, Eben Etzebeth, as he walks out onto the field with his wife and child. It's going to be a massive occasion for that man, but looking through at the starting lineups for these two sides, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, for the Springboks, they are the home side, Ox Nishe, Bongyo Mbanambi, and Franz Malharba there as the front row. So Mbanambi and Franz Malharba not playing in the last game up against Argentina, but now getting the chance to play up against the Pumas here. Eben Etzebeth was off the bench last game. He will now be starting in his 128th game. Ruan Nokia partnering with him at number 5. He has been immense throughout the Rugby Championship, winning more lineouts than any other player. They are just showing their 59th test cap as Springbok captain. He now goes just behind in terms of the overall Springbok with the most caps. So a big achievement for Sia Khaleesi in this game as well. And he will be at number 6 alongside Peter Steph Toy, the welcome return at 7. Ben Jason Dixon just hasn't quite found his rhythm at international level as of yet. Jasper Wiese will take the number 8 jersey with Elric Lowe making his way off of the bench. Jaden Hendrickse at 9 with Mani Libok as the 10. That is the combination that has been critiqued the most before the matches even started. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those two go partnering together and whether or not they can get themselves a try or two. Damien Delende and Jesse Creel in the midfield. That is a dangerous pairing. We've seen it all throughout the Rugby Championship, throughout the World Cup as well. And Creel has played a majority of the minutes, if not all the minutes, of this Rugby Championship so far. Kurtley Arendse at number 11. Cheslin Colby out on the right wing, back in the side. And Apelele Fasi there at number 15. Solid under the high ball. His discipline has been questioned a little bit, but he's still a very formidable option in the future for that number 15 jersey. But speaking of 15s, guess who is back for the Stormers? I'm not going to let you guess. I'm just going to tell you. It's Damian Valimza. He will be playing in the game in only a few hours' time, and he wants to work his way back into the Springboks squad as well. Looking through our Argentina starting lineup, they have made many changes compared to last week as well. Thomas Gachot, Julio Montoya, and Joel Scalevi as the front row. Pedro Rubiolo at 4, and Thomas Lavanini comes into the starting side at number 5. Juan Martin Gonzalez as the number 6. He is also vice-captain, coming in for Pablo Matera, who will be making his way off the bench. Santiago Grondona at 7. That is for the injured Crema. And number 8, Joaquin Oviedo, being very impressive throughout this Rugby Championship. Gonzalo Garcia is going to be the number 9, winning that last-minute penalty up against the South Africans last week. The Argentine national anthem is just being sung, which means we are very close to the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. It will be followed by the South African national anthem. Thomas Albanoz, he lit the world on fire in Argentina last week. A formidable option at 10, a fantastic player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him partner with Santiago Chocabarez once more. Matias Maroni on the outside at 13. Mateo Carreras going head-to-head with Cheslin Colby. I've said it about 15 times throughout this video or throughout this live stream. Those two face-to-face, mono-o-mono, man-on-man is going to be absolutely immense. And then Rodrigo Isgro comes in at 14 with Santiago Carreras as the number 15 for Juan Cruz Malia. But do let me know who you think will be scoring the first try of this contest, ladies and gentlemen. We can't risk one missed kick from Limp Bok. Brown misses from 5 metres in front, says Charles. And Flow Rugby down again, says Mark Kiwi. I would assume they've got a lot of people trying to watch this game. We're going to hear the national anthem sung by Nina Brand. Tell you what, the crowd are loud for this one, that is for sure. We have there Hamish, and keeping with tradition, what pants are you wearing, says Lockin. I've got some some trousers on. They're actually kind of like a purplish blue. I think they came through a slightly different colour on the stream. But yeah, we have got pants on today. Thanks for checking, just in case one day when we forget them, that will be our embarrassing moment. But Etzebeth, the tears in the eyes of the big man. You don't see that too often, but there are tears flowing for Eben Etzebeth. That is something I didn't think I was going to see today. But it just shows how much he loves playing for the Springboks. He wants to go out there and have a massive game here. I should mention, if anyone is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. We are here for the November Internationals as well as the URC. We're covering a game straight after this one. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have got there, if you wear glasses, we can see the reflection of the game. Unintentional, says Mark. Unfortunately, YouTube have got to that stage of being smart enough to know when you're doing that, and it still counts as copyright infringement. Eben is so good, and always bot go Cheslin and go the bok, says Liam, and we love you, Eben, says Shaz there as well. But this game almost upon us, ladies and gents. Springboks versus Pumas. All South Africa need is 1 point, and they will win the Rugby Championship. With the smile and the tears for Eben Etzebeth. What a moment for that man to become the most capped Springbok of all time. But can there be a win just around the corner for Eben Etzebeth? We've got the emotional anthem from the crowd, says Grant there. And also we've got their Springboks first try, says Kerry. They almost don't singing. Then we start, go the bok, says Charles, and game on, says Arcade Dreams. And also we have got their bok, love you too much, says Richard. And when are they starting? They are starting right now. Ben O'Keefe will be the man in charge. Glenn Newman, the TMO. Assistant referee James Dolman. So almost an all-New Zealand refereeing panel with the exception of Evans from Wales. We have got there. When are they starting? Right now. Getting close to the start of this contest. What channel are you watching? I'm watching on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. I'm not too sure what channel it is on for DSTV. Is this 28 game? 28 game? In what regard is going to broadcast the game here or just comment? Sadly, I'm just commenting, Sasha, due to YouTube's broadcasting restrictions. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube, banned for 3 months, and possibly sued by Sanzar, which I feel like would not be what we want just before Christmas. Who is better, Bone and Barrel or Fuff the Clerk? They are very different, including position. But it's a nice, warm afternoon game here, or in fact, early evening contest for these two sides. Mani Lebok, he will have the responsibilities of kicking off this game. Cheslin Colby strapping in the headgear, and I would have to say that strapping up, ready to go for this game is certainly what these sides want to do. It is going to be a bumpy ride, more than likely, with some big hits, some really impressive tries. And we are now ready to go. Does it actually show you the game here, or is it just this guy talking the whole time? Says Matt, it is just this guy talking the whole time. So unfortunately, you might have to get used to me. But Mani Lebok kicks it off long, 5 meters out from the Argentine line, and a massive run from Rodrigo Isgro straight into Eben Etzebeth to welcome him to his 128th test. But Santiago Herreras getting it off the side of his boot, not getting a massive amount of distance on it, 30 meters out from the line. The Springboks will have the line out. When the F is starting, it's already started. They were running a little bit behind, maybe like a minute from the kickoff. There go the box, says Charlotte. And there as well, Babongi Umbanambi to throw this one in. A wonky line out. In fact, no, it's worked out. It's gone to Kurtli Arendse, who is charging onto the ball. Peter Steftatoy, flat ball, off to Damien Dialendi. Hendrikse goes to Etzebeth. Short ball to Creel. Looks like the Springboks are bringing that same intensity. Where's Hendrikse? He wasn't at the breakdown for a start. Oh, Jasper Visser drops it off for Hendrikse to recycle. Short ball to Bongi Umbanambi. They want to play at a fast tempo, wear the Pumas down. Peter Steftatoy plays half, goes to Ruan Nokia. Oh, again, it looked like Peter Steph was considering that number 9 jersey. I mean, he's already had plenty of them throughout the Rugby Championship. We have seen him play 5, we have seen him play 4, we've seen him play 7, and now Kurtli Arendse is on the verge of scoring out wide. 10 metres out from the line. Hendrikse, short ball to Etzebeth, who gets an eruption from the crowd. Mani Lebok with the cross kick. Can he find Colby? Just a little bit overcooked. And Cheslin Colby can't bring it in. We got there way too much, says Angelia. I mean, you asked the question, I answered your question. I don't know why you're so angry. We have got there Hamish, the best rugby commentator, says Clive. And we have got there Vamos Pumas. And also we have got there the South African flags from Margarita in there as well. But there is already an offside advantage. So that is why Lebok tried the cross kick. Didn't actually hear that one initially, but now they have a decision to make. Do they kick for the poles or do they kick for the corner? I think we know what we're going to see here. They are kicking for the corner here, South Africa. Only 2 minutes into this contest. Plenty of time to be able to build into this fixture. But it's going to be a big opportunity for Mani Lebok here. In the starting side. Can he set something up here with a play, or are they going to go rolling more? It's the double pump that we saw from the Springboks in one of the earlier games of the Rugby Championship. And it's been stolen by Argentina, so they'll go back for the initial penalty. Argentina closing and trying to tackle too early when the Springbok hadn't landed. And your commentary, as of official or international standards, says Regine, thank you very much. 5 meters out from the line now. Once again, they have a decision to make here, the box. Looks like Mani Lebok is going to be kicking this one towards... No, they decide on the scrum instead. They're going to back their big forward pack to be able to bundle the Argentines towards their own try line. Now, I won't even place their sighted in there. We have got their hi, let's go, says Ansi. And we have got there my favourite commentator of all time. Thank you once again. Still not sure how you get to pronounce the South African names. That's difficult for us in South Africa to pronounce. Really simply the best, says Gail. Thank you very much. Now scrum feed 5 meters out from Argentina's line. The perfect position on the field for the Springboks to be able to pounce early. They have got a 30 kg advantage at scrum time. And that one's gone down. Bit too much movement, says Ben O'Keefe. So we will see another scrum reset. And the Springboks almost have a 30 kg advantage just in their front row alone. Oxneshare, Franz Malharba and Bongi Umbanambi. Some big boys packing down for the green and gold. We're 4 minutes into this game already, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd are doing the Ole chants. She mentioned that the Bulls and Edinburgh, their game has just come to a close as well. And in the end, Kanan Moody getting himself man of the match. Of course, he is one of those players that wants to break back into the Springbok squad as they move forward. He is already in it, but he wants to get back into that lineup in November. Now, Jaden Hendrickse feeds the ball in. Massive scrum from the Springboks. An advantage. It's going to be a penalty try. And who got it? No, it's going back for the penalty. No one was able to ground for the Springboks. All they needed was someone to put their hand down. The ball was about 3 meters over the try line. And I think Sia Khaleesi just asked him why that wasn't a penalty try. A subscriber will you be able to see the live game. Says Munda, the YouTube membership is only for the emojis on the channel. It does say it when you do hit that membership button. So I do apologise if you have subscribed for that sake, but you can hopefully get your money back easy enough from YouTube. But yeah, we aren't able to show any match footage or audio due to YouTube's broadcasting restrictions. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight down. Is Bowden Barrett still good? Says Linux there. And also goes South Africa Bok. Says Han. With Jaden Hendrickse to feed this ball in. Now going for another scrum. This time Argentina holding a little bit more solid, but they've given away the penalty advantage again. Flat run from Damian Dialendi. Gets through 4 meters from the line. The Boks come with an intensity for this contest. Better Steph de Toy taken down. Hendrickse looks to the right-hand side. Quick hands from Mani Lebok. Gets it away to Upper Lelefasi. I'm back again to the left-hand side, still under the penalty advantage. Now back across, Mani Lebok, great pass out to Damian Dialendi. Puts him almost through the gap. He tried the offload, he's knocked it on, and they'll go back for another penalty there. And Hamish says, David, welcome in, mate. And Colby first try, 5 defenders with broken ankles, says Shane. Right, going down to the knee again. I think South Africa will back their scrum here, because they have got Argentina reeling at scrum time, and the longer that they can cause more penalties time after time after time, that is going to help the chance of a yellow card against the Pumas getting a man advantage, and then that is when the floodgates open for South Africa. And Bok by 15 today, says Jacques. That is actually the same as my prediction. I went 35-20 in favour of the Springboks for this match. Got to be a penalty try, surely, says Adam. The only thing I'll say is it may be a little bit early for the penalty try. How do people not know? Can't stream any sport on YouTube, says Christopher Vet. We have got there, can only be a good commentator if you know how the game and rules work, says Walter. Now this ball is about to be fed in by Jaden Hendrickse. And again, a big scrum from the Springboks, a third penalty advantage. Scrums are going to be a problem for Argentina. Great ball from Mani Libbok to Apalele Fassi, and he will score the first try of this contest just like he did last week up against the Pumas. But Fassi, he has scored in the 7th minute. It took him a little bit longer than the first match. Scored it in the 3rd in the opening contest between the two sides. And Chislin is without the doubt the best player on the planet. DuPont can go take a dive. Says Locken, who's this ref? It is Ben O'Keefe for this contest. But 3 advantages in a row at scrum time. Pumas will not be able to afford to drop the ball. I can tell you that right now. Ooh. Jaden Hendrickse with the kicking tee, ladies and gentlemen. That is something I didn't see coming. Interesting. They've decided to say to Mani Libbok, we're going to give you the running game. We're going to take the pressure of the kicking tee off you. And he's already got a try assist for Mani Libbok. But yeah, Jaden Hendrickse taking that kick straight out in front. Hang on. Are we looking at something? Or I think they're just saying that maybe they're taking a little bit too long. Oh no, now they're having are they having a huddle? No, they're going to continue playing now. That was really confusing. It seemed like no one had control of the game. Can't kick himself if he tried, says Andre, but now he's been given the freedom of just playing. I feel like that is where we'll see the most dangerous game coming from Mani Libbok, but Santiago Herreras to kick this one off. And awkward one. Ruan Nokia not able to take it cleanly. Apalele Fassi is there to clean up and does put a decent kick downfield. Argentina now with the line out. The last thing they want is a not straight throw, because or else then that is another situation where they have to go with the scrum. They said in the week, either Chislin or Jaden will kick, says Villy there. See, I thought they'd go Chislin, to be honest, out of the two. Oh, going to the front there. Nice line out strategy there from Argentina. Flat ball going off to Juan Oviedo, a hard man to drag down, but Dialendi has been able to get it done. Now Garcia goes to the short side. Albanos, explosive attack from Argentina, just like the first match. Rodrigo Isgro goes across to Julian Montoya, met by a wall of Umbanambi and Malharba, and a little bit of a counter-ruck coming to Garcia. Goes to the short side. Chislin Colby with the interception. Going to test out his step. They had covered a fence on the inside, and he's had the ball stripped from his hands. Now it's Mateo Carreras who gets crunched by Peter Steftatoi. And Mani is better kicking than Andre Prins at least. And show the Mani Libbok from Eastern Cape. Show them. But now kicking downfield, Thomas Albanos looking down the middle of the field rather than towards the touchline. This is something that could cause danger for this Argentine defence. Big shot coming in from Santiago Shoka Barres. Hendrickse goes across to Peter Steftatoi. We have passed the 10-minute mark in this contest. Hendrickse to Mani Libbok with the high up and under. Jesse Creel chases, knocks it back onto the side of the Springboks. Etsebev just knocking it on in the process. No, they've called it an Argentine knock on first, and then the Springboks knocked it on after. So it will be another scrum here for South Africa. Very poor performance by the AB's call. They are a long way away, says Manny M. And I'll put the sound off and listen to your commentary, says Gary. So for anyone who wants to do that same thing, at the moment my clock is 10 minutes, 46 seconds. Just to help you sync it up a little bit. Flow Sport, I think, is working now, says Eben. Yeah, it's certainly not a game that they wanted to be crashing for their website, or their app, I guess I should say, heading into. Like, this is a massive game, about as big as it gets for these two sides. The Rugby Championship on the line. Russi has his own plans about who should kick, says Hillary. And we have got their best commentary channel on the web, says Gary Smith. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now Hendrickse, ready to feed this ball in for the South Africans. Big scrum again. Argentina trying to hold, but Unfortunately for Julio Montoya, he just popped up and had no way of stopping it. Mani Libok again will go with the cross kick. Cheslin Colby running onto it, isn't able to take it clean, and they'll go back for yet again another scrum penalty. Now, I would think that this is where we start to see maybe some sort of warning going to the Argentine front row. And the problem that they've got is they can't really change this. There's no way of stopping this dominant scrum at the moment. Their players off the bench, I don't believe, are going to have any more success than the starting front row, but they are getting crumbled at scrum time. We have got their, why isn't this game streaming on SABC? Unfortunately, they only decided to show New Zealand versus South Africa on SABC. I wish they had a lot more of the games, though. This only way we can watch the match in the States. Flow Rugby sucks, says Cortland. And we have got there, Hamish, you looking for a job? What type of job? I feel like depending on what the job is would depend on whether or not I am interested. I don't strip for money, if that's what you're asking. I do it for free. But 12 minutes and 40 seconds in, Mani Libok again will kick this one towards the corner. And this will try and get them about 5 meters out. Last time he made the mistake. This time he gets it right in the corner. And coach of the ABs, I don't want that job. No one wants that job, do they? And we have got there go Hamish Brothers, says David. Going to be thrown in by Bongi Umbanambi. Ruan Nokia claims it. Argentina trying to defend. Sia Khaleesi dragged down 1 meter short of the line. Now looking for the counter-ruck there was Argentina. I think they might consider going short side here soon. South Africa with the amount of bodies that are lying on the ground. Bongi Umbanambi trying to force his way over the try line, but the Springboks, they're on the verge of being able to get themselves another. Jesper Vesa picks it up just short of line. Better stiff the toy. Oh, he's gone for the big dive over the top and he has got it down. And that is a finish and a half. I think Rassi was surprised with the way that he put that one down. You can come and build websites with me, mate. Says the Springbok replay zone. Sadly, I don't actually know how to do that. But if I did, I would, of course, give you a hand. But better Steph the Toy scoring the try there. Jumping over the top of the breakdown like he's playing in the NFL. And just manages, first of all, Albanos to hold up Peter Steph the Toy for a start. And then for Peter Steph the Toy to still have control of that ball for long enough to then ground that ball. Hang on. The TMO said, hang on. We want to have another look, do we? Surely not. Did he lose the ball onto the player's foot? I thought he still had it under control. So we're giving him the try for now. Okay, Ben O'Keefe's pretty much just said to the TMO, I've seen the ball grounded, so restart the shot clock. Let's get on with it. And Flow Rugby claiming technical difficulties, no coverage. And we have good there, you're going to cover the Black Ferns versus Island match on Monday, says Manny M. Possibly, I would like to, but it just depends on whether or not we get any sleep beforehand. And that is a great kick from Jaden Hendrickse near the touchline to get it over. 14 points to 0 now in favour of the South Africans. South Africa win this game, please, says Jesper. And great commentary, thanks. Listening from NJ, land of useless NFL, says, was there from Hendrick. Now 15 minutes in, it is 14-0 for the Springboks. Pretty much the exact same start that they had in the last contest. Jesper Vesa taking it well inside of his 22. It looks like the sun is still slightly out. South Africa for this contest. It is a nice evening game, or at least it's building into one. Hendrickse will look for the touchline and does get that ball into touch. About 30 metres out now, the Pumas will have themselves another line out. And Rassi is shouting into his headset. He wants to see perfection from his team. I love your commentary, says Lynette. And number 2 ranked team in the world, says Floyd Kingy. And the thing is, Argentina, they can gain a lot from this game by winning. South Africa, they are playing in this contest for the Rugby Championship, but overall they cannot gain a single point, even a single decimal in the world rankings. But going into November, they will be fired up. Albanos tackled there by Mani Libok, doing well with the tackle attempt. Now, Santiago Herreras trying to make his way through. I think Oxnashare almost tackled a man Didn't have the ball there. Garcia goes across to Joel Scalavi, who's going to be tackled by Ibn Itzebeth. Garcia again recycles, goes to Albanoz, Thomas Garcho. Oh, Peter Steph the toy. His arms are too long. And he's got straight over the player who was protecting it and gone in behind and managed to get the turnover. Sia Khaleesi offload on the outside to Dialindi. He shaped up for the kick, but in the end, didn't get it away. Hendrickson to the short side. Cheslin Colby this time with the chip and chase. There is so much space for Cheslin Colby, but the ball had other plans, trying to avoid the number 14. Sia Khaleesi with the big wide cutout pass to Apalele Fasi. Goes for the chip in behind. Kurt Liarensa chasing, but it rolls into touch. But still massive pressure coming from the Springboks in this contest. Look at there. Rassi is surely the greatest coach of all time, says Tyler. It sounds like, is it a penalty? "11 offside, I think it is, against Kurt Liarensa. And our power just stripped because of the heavy rain. I'm now relying on your commentary. Thanks, mate. Love from South Africa. Says Martin. So hopefully your power does come back relatively soon. You're able to enjoy at least some of this game a bit later on. But kicking towards the touchline. Albanoz, what a save. No, it was in touch. I thought for a second Apalele Fasi had done the diving cricket catch back into the field of play. The crowd are not happy about it. Green does a good job, but the ball touched the line. Says Ben O'Keefe is the description that has been given there. Now Julian Montoya going to be throwing this one in. And nicely claimed again by Argentina, going with the short line out. That seems to be the one that they are backing the most throughout this game. Garcia going off to the left-hand side. Julian Montoya dropping the ball off. Great attack and run from Pedro Rubiolo, but I really think he needed that next pass. Juan Martin Gonzalez trying to bust his way through. Malharba, Oxniche, the two big four front rowers, I should say. Yeah, but it's going to be the advantage straight through the gap for Argentina. Beautiful play. And Albanoz will score it between the sticks. He scored both games up against South Africa, but that just cut the defence wide open. There was already a penalty advantage against the South Africans. And Albanoz, he is a very, very bright talent for Argentina. They just want to make sure that there was nothing bad about it, but I believe the try will stand. And Albanoz making it a nice, easy kick for himself, getting it straight between the posts as well. 14 points to 7. That's game on, says Nick. And thanks, my great commentary lifesaver, says so. I was thinking again, thank you very much for being here. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The kick is good, like I mentioned. So 14 points to 7 after 19 minutes. In fact, I got a little bit ahead of myself. It's only 19 gone rather than 21. And like I've said, a little bit of a replay of the, I guess, the scoring map. We saw 2 quick tries from South Africa. If the trend continues, it means we're going to see the next 2 tries, in fact, the next 3 tries being scored by Argentina. If the trend of last weekend's game is anything to go by. Now, of course, that is the last thing that the Springboks will want. We've got a new member, Paul. Thank you very much. You now have access to the exclusive emojis of the channel. And now, Mani Libok getting ready to kick this one off. And we have got there, please, Faf, stay away, says Chantal. Nicely claimed by Rodrigo Isgro. Ooh, almost got an awkward one where his knee bent. Now Garcia goes back there to Thomas Albanoz again. He will look for the touchline, does manage to find it up in Lilifasi, having a bit of a fight with the flag. And there's another penalty. Oh, blue 7 in front of the kicker. That is against, I believe, Grondona, and it means that Argentina will have themselves a penalty to defend only about 15 metres out from their try line. This is an easy 3 if the Springboks want it. But I think they're going to call for the scrum, are they? They're going like this. I don't know what that means. Okay, that means get the kicking tee, I guess. Run it on, maybe? I'm not sure. I guess so. I don't really know all their signals and all that. As I've yet come on the block, says Logan. Have you earned your point, says Manny M. Now lining up this kicker will be Jaden Hendrickson. Has currently set there 3 from 3. Now with that kick going over, 17 points 7. And nope, scrum says Regine. And thanks for the great commentary, says Colleen in there as well. But yeah, we are on the road to 57,000 subscribers. We are getting also close. Currently only 130 away. So let's see if we can get there by the halftime break. Santiago Herreras again will be kicking this one off. Grondona says Shaz. Yeah, Santiago Grondona, the number 7 for Argentina. In there for Marcos Crema. That was almost an illegal takeout from Matthias Maroni, but manages to pull out of it. Now rolling this ball back, Jaden Hendrickse with the box kick just outside of the Springboks 22. Down towards the halfway line, beautifully taken by Albanoz again. Tried to keep the ball in the field of play, but it has gone out. And South Africa, oh yes, Pavisa wanted it quickly. Is this the real score? It is indeed. 22 minutes gone in this contest, 17 points to 7. Am I correct that 4 tries will get the bonus point and secure the championship? You are not quite correct. So pretty much in the Rugby Championship, you need to get 3 or more tries than your opposition to get the bonus point. I hope subscribers mention my name, says first one. Now Sia Khaleesi goes across to Damien Dialindi on the halfway line for South Africa yet again. Etzebeth goes in behind to Mani Libot, finds the pass to Apelele Fasi. Those two linking up very nicely throughout the early stages of the match. Cheslin Colby shut down by Rodrigo Isgro. Hendrickse back across to the left-hand side. Oxnashare running hard at Joel Scalavi. Kicked him behind from Jaden Hendrickse, looking for space. Fernell has become a member. Thank you very much for hitting that membership button. You now have access to those exclusive emojis, including the one of my face going, which is very fortunate indeed. Mani Libok going off to the left. Sia Khaleesi off to Jesse Krill. Oh, ball on the inside to Peter Steftatoy, but he's knocked it on. And it will go back for the scrum. And go fussy, we behind you, says Michelle. What is rugby, says Xander? That is a brilliant question. And hello, says G. Welcome in. And good morning to you. Just opened a dish, daylight saving. And yeah, just not quite able to regather that one for Peter Steftatoy. See the disappointment in his face as well. He knew that if he held on to that, perhaps got that next offload, that was going to set up the 3rd try of the match for the Boks. Hi, Hamish. Thanks for this fantastic commentary, says Delvine. Yeah, for anyone wondering how Argentina can win the Rugby Championship from here, it is an extremely uphill battle. But theoretically, they would need to score 5 more tries, I believe it would be. Or in fact, no, sorry, 4 more tries without the Springboks scoring any. So that is quite the task to be able to do so. They can still finish 2nd in the overall standings of the Rugby Championship, though, if they get themselves the victory. But now it's going to be the scrum feed for Garcia and his Pumas pack. Now, they have been dominated throughout the first 24 minutes. Barbara has also become the channel member, so you now also have access to those emojis. Albanoz kicks it downfield. Nicely taken to the back by Apelele Fasi on the halfway line. Oh, I think he's just hurt Santiago Shoka Barez. Slipped into him. That sounds a bit dodgy, not in that way. But now Ruan Nokia gets back up. There was a knock on from Argentina, so there is the advantage now. But Santiago Shoka Barez, one of the main players. Nice cross kick from Mani Libok. Finds Colby stepping through too, but he's dragged down eventually. Hendrickse back across to Oxnashare, and Santiago Shoka Barez has not moved. Mani Libok complaining, saying there's a wide open gap. You know, keep going. There's a player in the way. You can't go anymore. But I think this is a knee for Santiago Shoka Barez, and what happened there was Apelele Fasi was running forward, slipped over, and then it was Santiago Shoka Barez's knee that unfortunately just went the complete wrong way. That's an ugly one, actually. It's not very nice to look at. That knee almost went completely backwards. Luckily it did not, or else I might have thrown up. And great commentary, great game, go the Bok, says Pierre. Oh, you know, that knee's gone. That knee, you're going to have to get a replacement knee because that one not working no more. We have got NS has also become a member, so you now have access to those emojis on the channel yet again. And we have got there no cricket here, says Trajan, and oh, that's a painful injury. Yep, that's one that could be a season ender for Santiago Chocobarez and a complete game changer for Argentina. We've got to remember how dangerous that man was in the first match. And Santiago Chocobarez, he will have to make his way now from the field. Massive shame for him. I think his knee is finished, says Adam. Yeah. You're funny, Hamish. Says Michelle. I love the sound effects, says Andre, but now making his way onto the field, it is going to be Lucio Cinti, who can play in the midfield, of course, but definitely not that same crash ball runner that we see. That looks nasty, says Nick. 25 minutes in currently. The score, I should say, currently split by the 10 points, 17 points to 7. And poor guy, says Vanita, and there as well. This does actually mean that it is going to be the scrum for South Africa, which might be just as beneficial as we've already seen the domination. In scrum time, do you shave your eyebrows, says Gavin? I do not. They are still on my head. I think you'd notice if I did, though, because they'd be gone. And support your better half pork chop, says Metric. Support your better half pork chop. Like me? Now we need a 20-point gap, says Miss. And we worried there, Hamish. I thought you were going down, says Jane. The front row has gone down. At scrum time, no advantage there though. Hendrickse going in behind to Mani Lebok. That looked close to forward. Yes, it was. And they will go back. Oh, and Chislin Colby bundled into touch by the Argentines. A lot of physicality. They've tried to take this one quickly, but I think they're going back for that forward pass. They are great eyebrows. Don't get me wrong. It's your best feature, says Gavin. Well, thank you very much. I don't think I've been complimented about me eyebrows before. In fact, I don't think I've had a compliment about my face on these live streams, really, so thanks. Super great commentary, says Rajan. Bruh, says Mangoes and Funny Hamish. We love your humour, and we've got a new channel member. Asisifo has become the member, so now you have exclusive emojis on the channel that you can use in the chat. You get a nice little badge next to your name as well. Yeah, nice face and brows, says Mr. Marmite. I love the bocky beard. You mean the patchy beard? It sadly doesn't grow the way that I'd like it to. Big scrum from South Africa again, but Argentina managed to retain their ball. Now Mateo Carreras tries to go through Mani Lebok. Now Garcia goes across to Albanos. He was setting up for a kick, but he's just going to try and run through everyone. Eben Etzebeth has to stop him. You have a face of a slap mango. Love it. I absolutely love mango, so that's a big compliment, I think. Now big run to the short side for Pedro Rubiolo. Hamish moved to South Africa ASAP, says Bus. I would like to go one day to South Africa. Garcia, another box kick, 40 metres out for the line at the moment. Nice take under the high ball from Chislin Colby. Now Hendrickse looks across to the left-hand side, gets it away to Jasper Vesa. We have got Mercia as a channel member. Oh, nice turnover from Los Pumas. Step in here for Lucio Cinti. Now another great tackle made there. Now in behind, Matthias Maroni's skip pass out wide. Rodrigo Isgro goes through his hands, but he's managed to regather before the ball goes into touch. He wanted a gap and he ran straight into the ox. Garcia again goes to Albanos, who was lined up by Peter Steph Toy. Matthias Maroni, great low tackle on him by Damien Dialendi, who's scrambling to make that next tackle. Jasper Vesa, oh, big clean out on the big man. And Hamish says Megan Crow, welcome in. Going back across to the right-hand side. Garcia going back into the pocket to Santiago Carreras. That is the benefit that they've got. The fact that, oh yeah, that was ugly. He did a full flip. Upper Lelefasi and Mateo Carreras having a bit of a face-off there. But Upper Lelefasi, he just learnt that he can do a backflip. And not in a good way. This is going upstairs. This is probably going to be at least a yellow card, if not a red. That's bad. That's really bad. In fact, that could have even been a red for Mateo Carreras. And I feel like that is one of those ones that could be upgraded and I wouldn't even be surprised. We got their new member for Maria Smith. So you now also have got the access to the channel, but Apalele Fassi, he did a full 360 in the air. Okay, Mateo Carreras does not understand. I feel like all Ben O'Keefe has to say, if he does not understand, is player. And then that's a yellow card. It's an on-field review as well. Best running commentary says, Chantel, thank you very much. No, dirty, says Adam. Yeah, really lucky landing for Apalele Fassi. That could have been extremely bad. He could have landed on his neck. He could have landed on his head. That's about as yellow card, if not red, as you can get. And this one, send him off. He has been sent off. He got the yellow card just then. Contest in the air. And now Argentina will be down a man for the next 10 minutes. Any idea whether this game will be available later on YouTube to watch? I know that the highlights will be on the Rugby Championship YouTube channel. The full game, someone might upload it. It's possibly going to be an illegal stream or like an illegal video that might get taken down. So be sure to get in quick if anyone does it. And what's the score at the moment? It is 17 points to 7 after 29 minutes. Manambi throws it into Ruanokia. The Boks are bad enough in terms of being able to score tries, and I mean bad in a good way. I didn't really describe that well, but are strong enough to score tries when they're up against 15, let alone the 14. Mani Libok going to go for the cross kick. Now slap back by Argentina. Oh, loose ball. Jesse Creel picks it up. I don't know where that rear came from. Rodrigo Isgro trying to get out of that breakdown. Oh, that's playing the 9, is it not? And Argentina somehow have got themselves a clean turnover in that breakdown. Now kick downfield, Santiago Carreras just trying to clear the lines at the moment. Apalele Fassi going across to Mani Libok. Can they upgrade the yellow cards to reds in the Rugby Championship? They certainly can. And that is something that might happen here for Santiago Carreras. That'll be a massive hit for the Argentines. 10 minutes remaining in this first half and 8 minutes remaining of the yellow card. Going back across to the left-hand side. Ruan Nokia goes across to Damien Dialendi. Apalele Fassi finds Khaleesi. Kurli Arinsa shut down by the rush defence of Santiago Carreras. A bit of a counter-out coming from Rodrigo Isgro. It's been drilled into him from the sevens days. Jaden Hendrickse look for the offload. He has dropped that ball, and Argentina now have got the possession. Back across to the left. Garcia going across here. They don't have Mateo Carreras out on the wing. Instead, it's Juan Martin Gonzalez. He's a quite big individual. You could say that was close to a turnover for the South Africans. Damien Dialendi, he was off his feet. Interesting. Turnover for the Springboks. I feel like we've seen a lot of leniency around the breakdown throughout this game for both sides. More of a free-flowing game than we saw last week. Big run from Jesse Creel. Now offloading from his back was Jesse Creel. Getting it away to Jesper Visa. Hendrickse cross to Oxnashe. Offloaded to Nokia. Defense so far from the Argentines, but Springboks on the verge of cutting through. Mani Libok finding his pass to Jesse Creel, who's driven backwards in a solid tackle by Juan Martin Gonzalez. Apalele Fassi to the short side. Damien Dialendi goes straight through, finds the offload to Colby, who's been dropped 5 metres from the try line. Gets the offload to Apalele Fassi, and he'll get another one in the 32nd minute. Are we okay there? Why don't you show us what we are watching? Because it is illegal for me to show any match footage, but 6 international tries for Apalele Fassi. The crowd are loving it. And 2 tries in quick succession for that man. Scored in the 7th, scored in the 32nd, and they are making that Argentina yellow card really hurt the Pumas here. But to the short side, Chiseling Colby to find the offload, and for Apalele Fassi to be there, ready to go. You can't show us, but he says miss. And there as well. What is the score for today's game? At the moment, it is sitting 22 points to 7. The Springboks starting to build a little bit more of a comfortable lead. Oh, hits the post for Hendrickse. Bounces back out, so that will keep the score at 22-7. I'm still massaging my prostate to your voice. Says, was F, I'll call you. congratulations, I guess, what's happening in the match. I mean, the try was just scored by Apalele Fasi. The kick was unsuccessful from Jaden Hendrickson, and now they're making their way back to the halfway line. And Yay Fasi says, Michelle, are they doing 20-minute red cards for the Rugby Championship? It is a 20-minute red card if Mateo Carreras' card is upgraded, but we are yet to find out. I don't even want to read that out, Lockin, because some people may actually believe it. Can you at least show us the highlights, bro? The highlights will be up on YouTube straight after the game on the Rugby Championship YouTube channel. So they will have them up maybe only like 20 minutes after the game has concluded. Kick downfield from Mani Libok after receiving the kickoff from Argentina. For the Argentines, they have to be very careful not to concede again here, or else they, I believe, will almost be out of this game. Fussy, not Fuffy, says Chantel. I don't think I said Fuffy. We have got there, nobody likes marmalade. Interesting. Now, it's going to be Julio Montoya to throw this ball in. Listen to your English commentary while watching in Spanish, says John. Going to be thrown high and long. Sia Khaleesi cleans it up after the loose ball from Argentina's line-out. Hendrickson again going for the kick in behind. Finds a bit of open space. Rodrigo Isgro only jogging after it. What's he doing? He was just sitting there trying to let Kurt Learense get the turnover. But now it's going to be kicked into touch. Isgro looking like he had so much time. But fun fact, he had none because Kurt Learense was right on his back. He's just waiting for that bounce of the ball, though. Didn't want to rush it. And Kurt Learense, one of his teammates, should have probably told him that he had Arense right behind him. Who scored the try, says Afona. They are coming across the bottom of the screen. Apalele Fasi has got 2. Peter Steftatoy scored 1. And Albanoz scored 1 for Argentina. I love Bok Rugby, says Bas. Going to be thrown in now for Argentina. There was a partial charge down of the kick. And now Garcia back into the pocket. Oh, charged down by Bongi Umbanambi, who's disappointed that it didn't sit up for him. Will now be a 22 dropout. It's on what channel? Says Anani, if you are in South Africa, I know it's on DSTV, but I'm not too sure of the exact channel, unfortunately. Hopefully someone in the chat can help you out. It's actually going to be an HIA here. Number 6. Is that Juan Matan Gonzalez or is that Sia Khaleesi who's going to be taken off the field for the HIA? That is the big question. And really great commentary. Thank you. Greetings from Mosenberg in Cape Town. Looks like Rodrigo Isgro is actually going to be taken off the field. That is for Juan Cruz Malia. And thank you for your commentary. We greatly appreciate it. And channel 201 says transient in there. But 4 minutes remaining in this first half, ladies and gentlemen. Argentina having to really dig deep throughout this first half in terms of the changes that they've had to make. But Albanoz has got the 22 dropout. They will try and put as much distance on this kick as they can just to try and allow for no drop kick to come back from South Africa. Right, so Isgro has gone off. I don't know if that's for an HIA or whether that is just because he's gone off anyway. You're a godsend, mate. TV here on the ship yesterday, and without you, I'd be scratching my ass wondering. Says Anton, well, welcome in, mate. Hope you are enjoying. Anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are covering as many of the November internationals as we can. All of Argentina's, all of South Africa's, all of New Zealand's, and also the URC. But now, Jesper Wiese hits it back up towards the halfway line. Hendrickson goes to Mani Libok, Apalele Fasi with a ball on the outside to Damien Dialendi. Had a lot of carries throughout this first half so far. Ruan Nokia tackle 40 metres out from Argentina's line. Great hands from Jesper Wiese. Hendrickson with the pick and go, made a few extra metres. Now Mani Libok has to play halfback. Peter Steftatoy crashing forward with his run. May have knocked that ball on the ground. It looks like they are going to say play on. Mani Libok goes to Wiese, off to Eben Etzebeth, who bundles his way through one challenge and makes about 3 or 4 post-contact meters to Hendrickson. Quick hands from Krell out to Peter Steftatoy. I think Argentina, They know that the Springboks are going to throw everything at them throughout the rest of this first half. Mani Libok, great Saladami, great hands from Apalele Fasi with the ball on the outside. Goes to Chisel and Colby, who cuts through and scores the try again. That is fantastic work from Chisel and Colby. The cover defence did not look at all safe when you got Colby that close to the try line. Just like that, the Springboks will strike again. They are fired up. They want to prove to everyone that last week was a fluke. And Colby, who was not playing in the last game, has got himself another Springbok try. 38 minutes in. They're making the most of that yellow card, that is for sure. But a wide cutout pass from Apalele Fasi after receiving the pass from Mani Libok. Now the Springboks, Jaden Hendrickse with the kick near the touchline, misses away to the left-hand side. So just 2 points difference between these two sides at the moment. 90 seconds remain in the first half, and we are about to find out if the yellow is upgraded to the red. This is going to be an interesting moment, and this could be a game-changing moment. It's going to stay a yellow card. Now, I will say the only reason that is not a red card is because of how Apalele Fasi landed. If he had landed really awkwardly, it would have been a red card. Rassi getting the... Tell you what, he got the fist pump going and he went for the high five with one of his other coaches who was still doing the fist pump. So I don't think the other coach expected a Rassi Erasmus. Tried to dap him up, as the cool kids say. Why is the score not upgraded? Says it was there from Komotso. It normally takes a little bit longer to update, but eventually it does get there. 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Hendricks are back into the pocket. Mani Libok almost had the kick charge down. What's the score now? It's 27-7 for this first half. Fasi is killing it. He's had a really strong game. Him and Mani Libok is a combination that is working extremely well. I think both of Apalele Fasi's tries have come with Mani Libok assists, and then Mani Libok passing to Fasi to then get it out wide to Chisel and Colby there. So, maybe a future combo that the Springboks might try and use. All right, we will go like that. We will go like that. There we go. But now getting ready to throw this ball in. Julio Montoya, that is not a straight line out. And because it would end the half, it means that they still have to have one more scrum to sort it out. Fasi is rocking, says Shaz, who's in the sin bin right now. It was Mateo Carreras, but he is back out on the field for the Argentines, the left wing for Argentina. Go the box, says Talent. So not over until the last minute. Yeah, I think this competition has been the perfect example of that. We over there, nuts sucks, says Bus. Now scrum feed for the Springboks. If they win themselves the penalty, they may look to advance down the field. If they just get the scrum back out, they may just kick it for touch. Had 3 games. I've been with you today while working on the farm. Great commentary, says Gary. Thank you very much. And we have also got a game just a little bit later on. We are covering the matchup taking place between the Stormers and the Ospreys. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Labok, you are a star. Thank you, my friend, says Freda de Toy. And what a first half. Go the Bok. Atmosphere at Mbombela is electric. It sounded, even in the national anthem, the crowd just sounded like they were trying to make the players really turn up for the occasion. And that's what the Springboks have done throughout this first half. Now, Jaden Hendrickse to put this ball in again for the Springboks scrum. It's gone down in the front. And does Hendrickse want to kick it out? He certainly does. And that will be the end of a dominant first half from the Springboks. 27 points to 7. Exactly the answer that they wanted to have after not scoring a single try throughout the 40 minutes of the second half. The score needs an update, says Ethan, but the score is correct, other than not saying halftime, which it, I believe, now does. What a massacre, says Christian. And also we got there, who's this guy supporting? Argentina, says Innocent in there. And are you commentary out of South Africa, says Brunette? I am commentating from New Zealand. So it is currently 4:49 a.m. where I am in the world. Thanks, Hamish. Really spot on commentary. It's like I'm right there at the game, says Jane. Thank you very much. No number one spot for the Boks, even if they win. Yeah, even if they won this game by 100 points. The Springboks sadly do not get that opportunity to take back their number one spot yet. Whereas if Argentina win this game, they can go up like 2 or 3 points in the overall rankings. And that would actually see Argentina move to about 4th in the world, which would be absolutely massive, but not as massive as the comeback that they would need. At the moment, sitting 27 points to 7 down at half-time. Pretty harsh ranking system. Says, cool story, bro, and well done, boys. Says Cynthia there, and Rassi. And, well, it's only 11:50 a.m. here, says John as well. And bonus point achieved, says Henny, not quite. They are in a position of getting that bonus point, though, but they have to make sure that they stay 3 tries ahead due to the difference in this competition compared to others. How other competitions you need 4 tries, then this one you need 3 or more than your opposition at full time. I'm watching the rugby from Iowa in the USA today, visiting my dad. Says Springbok Replay Zone. And to be honest, this is the best YouTube channel. Says Saviwe, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. This ranking system sucks, says Barnes. And Argentina flop around. And also thoughts on the Bledisloe 2 match. I mean, a much better performance from New Zealand, but still a lot of mistakes. Like, they were getting penalised heavily throughout that first half. And I feel like they still had a lot that they would have wanted to improve on, but having a bad game and winning by 20 or so, you know, you'd still take that at this stage of Scott Robertson's era. And imagine having to be up before 5 a.m. with you in that pain, Hamish. Only an hour and a half left on my shift, and I can sleep, says Mr. Porkchop. And of course, we have got another game just around the corner. Like I said, we are going to be covering the match of the URC that we are going to see between the Stormers and the Ospreys. We get to see Damien Valimza back in action. Now, he is a player who will be watching this match and going, ugh, Upper Lele Fassi, too good of a game. Might keep Valimza out of that starting lineup for a little while. Got a new member on the channel as well, Sibzele. Thank you very much. Sam Marie also has become a member, so you guys now have exclusive access to the emojis that we have on the channel. You also get that little badge next to your name. Lebok is the man. Nobody reads a game like him, says Sandor. And thoroughly enjoyed that first half. Amani Lebok first, masterful first, says Lionel. And there as well, but looking through at a few of the stats to do with this contest, ladies and gentlemen, there have been quite a few intriguing ones, and definitely ones going in favour of the Springbok side. But possession, I mean, there have been times throughout this game where it seemed like Argentina were really struggling to get any form of hands on the ball. Really enjoying your commentary. Thank you so much. Ignore the rude comments. Says Colleen, and great, good commentary, Kiwi boy, says Thane. And all the guys are flexible to play the game. And can't you at least show, where'd that go? Can't you at least show us the first half now that they've gone for halftime, please? Sadly not. Like, the licensing for a game does not just disappear because they've reached halftime. But like I said, the highlights will be up on YouTube afterwards. We have got Damo in the chat. Hong Kong 7's Hulk Hogan asked your thoughts on Razor's first championship. I think that it was a bit conservative in terms of his selections. He didn't really go for too many risks overall, but it's one of those ones that there are still massive improvements the All Blacks can make, and hopefully throughout the November internationals, that is where we see some of them made. But the meters gained. South Africa in this contest, they have had 328 meters carried compared to Argentina, who have only had the 86. And I think the big difference we've seen in this contest compared to the last is the fact that Argentina haven't had as many line breaks. In that last game up against South Africa, they'd find a gap and they'd just go for it. And then they find it multiple times. But this game, the South African defence have been extremely strong. Going to see here, they've made 44 tackles, only missing the 8. But saying that, Argentina haven't had a lot of time on attack. Argentina have missed 19 tackles when making their 97. 19 defenders beaten for South Africa compared to the 8 of Argentina. Clean breaks 9-1 in favour of South Africa. You have become a really fluent commentator. Well done. Join listening in Spain, says Vincent. Thank you very much, mate. Anyone who is new to the channel, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We recently brought up to 57,000, so let's see if we can get to 58. We have got there great pronunciation, says Sisikelo. Thank you very much. Can you please show us? Sadly, I would love to, but as soon as you show any match footage or audio on YouTube, you get taken down and you get yourself a copyright strike. That would mean that we are unable to stream any rugby or do any commentary for the next 3 games. Or sorry, for the next 3 months, I should say. 90 days, they stop you from being able to do any live streams. So, the highlights will be up on YouTube afterwards, but just any type of live commentary, you're only allowed to talk about the game, you're not allowed to actually show it. Awesome commentary from Johannesburg. Thank you very much. And Tato has said informative commentary, thanks. And Anaiba, I was with the box this week, shows tactical over clever/cute. Says Walter there as well. But do let me know, who do you think were the standout players of this first half, ladies and gentlemen? Mani Libok, I thought, really stepped up in that number 10 jersey. Apalele Fasi, he is not going to be one of those guys who I believe they will take out of that number 15 jersey for quite some time. Hamish, take your loo break. We want to see your dad again, mate. My dad is currently asleep. It's currently 4:55 a.m. here in New Zealand. So, everyone else in the household, apart from myself, is getting some sleep. Can we talk about Eben in his career, please? Is he not one of the greatest players of all time? Has to be. Says Leroy. Yeah. Now the most capped Springbok of all time. The thing that makes Eben Etzebeth's career so impressive, though, is the fact that it is far from over. The man still has time to possibly bring up 150 caps, if not even more. So, at the moment, surpassing Victor Matfield, but he's still got a long road ahead of him. This commentator is world class. Some of the listeners, not so with their filthy language. It is a rugby show. Try focus on that, please. Says Dennis. And Marnie kicking well without the pressure of kicking, or playing well without the pressure of kicking. We have good deal where you do commentary year end, because then you have a break, says Walter. So throughout the breaks, we normally cover different competitions. So we've got the URC that is going to be taking place very soon. We're actually covering another game of the URC in about 2.5 hours. That will be the contest between the Stormers and Ospreys, but we are also going to be informing you of what is happening in the contest that has taken place between the Sharks alongside the Connacht side. How much longer till the second half? Not too much longer. I would say less than 5 minutes until the second half does get underway, but the ground is absolutely rocking at the moment. The crowd are loving it. The atmosphere is electric. And Alba Noz scoring the only try for Argentina in that first half, whereas in the last game up against South Africa, by this point they had 4 tries, Argentina. So shows South Africa's defence was a lot more solid in this game. Fassi playing a brilliant game. Yeah, he's looked exceptional in that number 15 jersey. 66% possession as well in favour of South Africa. They just haven't really allowed Argentina into this contest. Are you covering the Sharks game? What we will be doing is we're doing the play-by-play for Stormers versus Ospreys, but we are going to be giving regular 1-minute updates of what is happening in the URC game alongside that, the Sharks and the Connacht one. So we're going to be doing a bit of a co-commentary type situation, still letting you know exactly who is scoring in both of the games. But the main concentration will be Damien Valimza making his return for the Stormers. World-class commentary, love it, thanks. Thank you very much, greatly appreciate it. Eben is my brother, what a champ, says Bas there. And yeah, the Stormers. And we have got there, please know there are so many respectful supporters of South Africa. Not all of us are so filthy and cocky, says Heinrich, but they are just showing there a few of the other interesting stats for the first half lineouts. The Pumas have lost 2 territory. They've only had 32%. And then they've conceded 7 penalties while also dropping the ball 5 times. Can you do the next Drakus fight? When is Drakus actually fighting again, though? That is the big question. I know that there is the card coming up with Chimaev versus Whitaker, and I assume whoever wins that fight, if it's Whitaker, he will get a title shot more than likely. But then saying that, Sean Strickland is waiting for his opportunity to get a chance at the title. I think for controlling the game and kicking, the advantage Marnie is. And we also got there Marnie, no talent. You obviously didn't watch that first half, Charles, because that man set up, I think, every single try that the Springboks scored, with the exception maybe of Peter Steph de Toys, but he got 2 assists for the Upper Lele Fasi tries, got the, I guess you could say, the assist of the assist for the Chislin Colby try. Jaden brilliant, Fasi is one of a kind, Money going strong in there as well. Sean has already signed the contract. They are saying UFC 310. Okay, so it's a little way away. That'll definitely be next year, I would say, unless there's a December card that they're going to set up. To think we still have Andre Pollard for the second half. Yeah, the Springboks are well set in this contest. And we have got there, come on, says TK Gaming. But looking through at the bench for this contest, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, great start to the match for the Springboks. But sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And of course, these men who are making their way off the bench have the ability to finish this game extremely well. Malcolm Marks, Gerhard Stennekamp, and Vincent Koch as the front row replacements. Eldrick Lowe and Quagga Smith, the two other forward replacements, with Kobus Reinach, Andre Pollard, and Lucanio Am there as the number 23 for Argentina. Inacio Ruiz, Calles, and Delgado there as the number 18. Molina and Pablo Matera. Now, I don't think they'll be too far away getting Matera out onto the field. The big question would be, who do you bring him on for, though? I think they'll want to leave Juan Martin Gonzalez out there a little bit longer. I think we may see possible switch. See, maybe Juan Martin Gonzalez go to 7 and Matera take on their number 8 jersey. Then Bazan Velez, Cinti is already on there, and Juan Cruz Malia was on there as well for Rodrigo Isgro. So Cinti on for Santiago Shoja Barres, which was a massive injury for Argentina, as he was so evident in the last game that took place between the sides. But second half getting extremely close to starting, ladies and gentlemen. I will mention anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated you all being here for this fixture. We have there, what's the score? The score at the moment is 27 points to 7 at halftime. Argentina down by 20. And to win this rugby championship from here, they would need to score a total of 6 tries in a row without without South Africa scoring any. So that is a monumental task for this Argentinian side. But I think that the Springboks, the big question more so now is how much are they going to win this game by. My original prediction was 35 points to 20, but I think that we're going to see a lot higher from the Springboks after the way that they'll play throughout that first 40. Who's kicking for South Africa? It is Jaden Hendrickse, so he is currently sitting, I believe, 3 from 5, if I am correct there, maybe even a little bit higher, 4 from 6, but he has missed 2 anyway of the kicking opportunities. It's going to be a blowout, I think, Bomb Squad, and it's a rough stadium to come to. So here's Adam. And yeah, they're also playing in around that 30-degree heat, so it makes it very challenging for the sides out there. But anyone who is new to the channel, like I said, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are almost working towards that 57,500 now. So if you want to help us get there, it is greatly appreciated. Box looking for revenge, says James. Well, it's a beautiful place in Mbella Stadium. I messed that up a little bit, didn't I? Mani on fire. Dialendi Creel. Well, whole backline looks hot. Forwards doing their thing as we are accustomed to. I'll be honest, like off the backline, once again, the most quiet man is probably Kurt Liaudense, which is crazy to think that normally he is the man who's scoring the most tries, but they haven't really gone to his wing too often, and when they have, hasn't really led to too many tries. In fact, the only try out on that wing was Peter Steph Toy, who managed to get it. And Pumas deserve to get smashed this game after making us lose our number 1 spot, says Jerome. And we have got their Springboks need to step up and show their worth in the second half, says Dal. And what are your thoughts on how the aggressive fans had on the game last week? I mean, it is one of those ones that, like, there's always going to be some people who take it too far in terms of supporting their side. But overall, I feel like there were a lot of Springbok supporters who said, yep, Argentina were the better side and we're going to come back firing next week. And that's exactly what the Springboks have done. They've done pretty much exactly what they would have aimed to do, and that is go out there, get a good start, and now they want to finish it. Kirtley still has 40 more minutes, I do believe. He's getting a try in the second half. The game started already, says Herzog. That is true. We're currently 40 minutes into it, but the second half, two sides are in the huddle. It looks like Sia Khaleesi is leading it for the Springboks. Excellent commentary. Thanks, Hamish. Says Clifford there as well. No worries at all. And I do thank you very much for being here. Like I said, anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button because there is plenty coming up on the channel. We've got the URC a little bit later on tonight between the Stormers and the Ospreys. Going to get to see that return of Damien Willem's Apieta is a new member, so if you do want to use those emojis in the chat, please feel free. Welcome to the Kiwi Lads Members Club. But now, second half just about to kick off. It is going to be Argentina going from left to right. Both sides ready to go, but Argentina need a big start here. If they concede another try, I would say that this game is well and truly done and dusted. Final countdown is playing around the stadium, and Santiago Herreras gets us back underway, nicely taken by Jasper Visa. Breaks through 3 tackles. That is the way that they wanted to start. He's still going, Jasper Visa. Made about 30 post-contact meters there. Mani Libok kicks it high. Cheslin Colby trying to go up for this one. It's going to be slapped back onto the side of Creel. Damien Dialindi is the man who gets the rebound. Hendrickse back across, going to the left-hand side. Mani Libok goes to Upper Lelefasi, trying the 50-22. If this ball goes out, it would be one. But Albanoz is back, kicks it downfield, and is unsuccessful in trying to find the touchline. Mani Libok now on the halfway line. Another cross kick straight into the hands of Damien Dialindi. Jesse Creel offload on the inside, but he finds Garcia, who is driven into touch by Dialindi. A frantic start to the second half for the Springboks. And thanks so much for awesome commentary. Says Anthony, thank you very much. Why up number? We just made 30 post-contact meters, says Ethan. It must be a part of the tactic and the plan for the Springboks here. But a great cross kick from Mani Libok straight into the hands of Damien Dialindi. And then just driving him into touch with the follow through. And Franz was a utility back. Played more at 15 and at centre than he did at 10, says Martin. And Bongi Ombanambi was ready to throw that one in, but Ben O'Keefe has turned time off now. I think they're just working out numbers. Oh, South Africa's foot was in touch first, so it is actually going to be an Argentine line-out throw. That's a big change and a big momentum shifter, I guess you could say, but it's not going to completely take them out of the woods. They are still inside of their half with a lot of pressure on them coming from the Springboks. And Boks are hungry for the win today. And yeah, you can see it in the mentality of the players out there on the field. They have come meaning business. You're doing a great job, expect. Says Franco there. Now from inside of their 22, Oviedo does get that ball just a little bit closer to that 22-meter line for Garcia to now put it back into the pocket. Or to kick it himself. He's been told to use it back into the pocket. Santiago Herreras once again does not find touch. That seems to be the tactic for Argentina. Kick it straight down the middle of the field and allow the Springboks to run back at them. Kurtley Arendse breaks through 3 tackles. The Pumas are falling off them big time here in the second 40. Umbanambi offloads it back to Oxnushe. Ruanokia offload up to Hendrickse. Passes out to Mani Libok. Almost went through, but a great last-ditch tackle from Oviedo. Loose ball picked up by Ruanokia. Still in possession here for the Springboks, but Argentina trying their best to get that counter-ruck going in the breakdowns. Now South Africa looking to shift this one to the left-hand side. Fussy linking up with Creel. Still 25 metres from the try line. Now Jasper Visa goes across to Mani Libok, just dropped there by Damien Dialindi. And it will now be the scrum feed. South Africa making a point this week. They certainly have been a great first half. 2 tries for Fussy, 1 for Cheslin, and also 1 for Peter Steph de Toy. But it's going to be interesting to see how they can finish this game. Will they speed up for the final 20 minutes or so? Or will the pace start to dwindle a little bit as this pace has been frantic throughout the first little while? End of the day, rugby will be the winner. Great entertainment. Says GB, there go the box, says Thurman. And also we've got there a link to watch the match. Sadly, the only real links are DSTV, Flow Rugby, Sky Sport, and Stan Sport in terms of the options. Cheslin Colby. Oh, it's a good catch as well from Colby when he did get his initial try. Just catching all of the Argentine defence out. We have got there, Pumas are panicking, says Lynette. And also we've got there, can you show the remaining minutes on the screen, says Andre. So at the moment we are 44 minutes through the game, which means we've got 36 minutes remaining in this contest. And Tanzania, from South Africa, on business, love your commentary. You pronounce those Afrikaan names perfectly. Shoot, you have some SS blood in you, says Donald there. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated your kind words. Yeah, anyone else who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is free to do. You also will get notified when we upload videos. We're going to be announcing the Springbok squad when it is announced, and also talking about what is their strongest lineup as they move forward into the November internationals. We have got there, we've got to win this, or we got to win this definitely. I like the ABs did against the Wallabies with that 33-13. You're an animated character or commentator, says Jeremy. We have a moment's silence for Munster after this game finishes, says Kerr. Maybe. We got a couple hours of the URC later on as well, so I'm sure we'll get to have plenty of chat about what has happened so far. That is a brilliant steal from South Africa in the breakdown. It's where this Argentina team are a bunch of part-time footy players and strawberry pickers, says G. I mean, you can say that, but they did still win last week. You know, so still pretty impressive in that regard. Hamish, do you ever get angry? You look like a reasonable person, says Sino. Not really. Like, I don't know. I don't really have an angry bone. Like, I feel like I make subtle digs, and that's my, like, anger. That's about as angry as I can get. But my problem is I don't stop smiling sometimes. So, like, if I try and be angry but I'm smiling, it doesn't have that same kind of effect. Jaden Hendrikse going to be lining up this kick here for the Springboks after another penalty does go the way of the home side. He's sitting 3 from 5 so far. So it's going to be relatively far out. And he shanked it. That is going to make the score now. Wait, they've given him points for it, but it did not go over. So it is 30 points to 7 until they took it back to 27-7 for the score. Girlfriend just moved out. I saw it very briefly and then it popped away. There are plenty of messages. Show us your angry face. I literally don't really have... That's about it. You know, I just don't have one. Which is quite annoying. Because if I try and be angry, people just go, why are you smiling then? Oh, yes, Vavisa. He's had a big start to his second half. Hendrikse with the sniping run. One of the offload to Malcolm Marks, who has made his way onto the field for the Springboks. Dialindi now running it forward hard once again. Who kicked it was Jaden Hendrikse for that one. I want to see the real game. I want to listen to a voice. Why, says Ernest, due to copyright. Sadly, any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube, banned for 3 months, and possibly sued. Which is not fun. I don't like getting sued. And they're going back for the knock-on. Come on, the Pumas, keep fighting, says Doggo there. And we have got there, I'll show you crazy. Check out my stamp collection. This is a cool story, bro. Upper Lele Fassi, what a game is that so far. 2 tries already, don't worry. Yet the other one, Lever, says Andre. And for the idiot on this channel, this is a rugby match. WF was the war got to do with this channel. Go get a life. Okay, I assume someone said something in the chat. I was very confused for a second. I was like, wait, did I say a sentence that I didn't realize I said? AI becoming a box supporter, says Clinton. Now, Garcia, ready to put this ball in. Who missed the kick? It was Jaden Hendrikse. Now, oh, that scrum's doing the sideways crab shuffle. Somehow it has come out legitimately. Garcia decides to kick it in behind, which will give more possession to the Springboks. Downfield from Upper Lelefasi. Nicely taken by Albanaz. Gets it away to Santiago Herreras. Now Malcolm Marks in the breakdown. All but got the steal. Pollard says miss. Now Joel Scalavi. In fact, it's Thomas Garchot this time. Taken down by Etzebeth. He's had a big one for his 128th game. Kicked up high. Mani Libok strong under the high ball. Is dragged down by Matthias Maroni. Still 32 minutes remaining in this game. Oxnishir gets it away to Jesper Visa. almost more surprising in the second half that Vesa doesn't make 10 metres than if he goes past it. And all high ball contested Lee, I believe, knocked it on. No, they're saying it's off the Argentine. We've got the Asbom squad come on. Yeah, only Malcolm Marks at this point, I believe, is out there on the field for South Africa. This is BS. Where is the game? The game is happening in South Africa, and you can find it on DSTV, but you will have to pay money. That's the sad thing. Oh, 13's getting yelled at by Ben O'Keefe for something. Please send a link on this live chat. There's no link. It's either DSTV, Sky Sport, Stan Sport, Flow Rugby. Unfortunately, the only ones that have this game being streamed for free are the illegal sites that will more than likely give you a virus and tell you got a woman 20 metres away who's looking for a good time. Those links, you only click on them once. I had to get like 3 new computers. Malcolm Marks got the line out throw now. You could watch it illegally. Says miss there. And also we lost the previous game because Pollard was not there. Says Franz. Pollard started. Now, it's going to be Peter Steftoy taking it nicely. Oxnashire goes off to Etzebeth. It's a bit of a juggle off the back, even winning this week. Won't give them any points back in the world rankings. Just the way the system works. Yeah, because they're outside of 7 points. So if Argentina were a little bit higher up in the rankings, South Africa would get some form. That's going to be a knock-on from South Africa. And now it's going to be chance for the Pumas at scrum time. The scrums have got a little bit more even in the last little while. Lovely guy, says Lena. South Africans are so bossy, says Mr. Marmite. Depends on the ones you talk to. We've met a lot of nice South Africans on the channel. Johannes, probably, I don't know whether we can count him. Just give us the rugby and quit all the junk talk, is the comment there. I think that people misinterpret South Africa's bluntness for being, like, bossy, if that makes sense. Like, if they have something they want to say, they will say it, and you know they will say it. Too bossy, says John. And I from Denmark, says Daniela. A huge welcome for you, South Africa. Or Hamish, if you relocate to South Africa, says Clifford. And well done, guys, says Johannes. And there as well. But 30 minutes remaining in this contest, ladies and gents. The big man onto the field now for Argentina. It is Pedro Delgado. We're just straightforward, raised to say it like it is, says Glazina. Exactly right. Big scrum coming from South Africa, but they weren't quite able to get that turnover. Oviedo, Khaleesi on it in a flash, but just on the man, not the ball. Short ball, I don't know what's happened there. Oxnashires ended up getting sandwiched by Thomas Garchot. I don't mess with South African rugby, says Leica there. And we have got there, can you comment on the game and not worry about the side chat, says Warren. Anytime there is a stoppage in the game, that is normally when we read the chat. Santiago Carreras, he has kicked that one into touch. This will be about 15 metres out from the line now. And pay Kiwi subs any day of the week. And also from Beijing, welcome in. Ryan said you're doing a stellar job. Thank you very much. Argentina just walking up to their line out now. There's been a bit of a drop in tempo, I will say, from Argentina in the second half. Now getting ready to throw it in. Julian Montoya, the experienced veteran. They've got Ignacio Ruiz with hardly any experience, making his way off the bench. Garcia going across, nice inside ball from Matheus Maroni, but the ball has been dropped there again by Argentina. It was Mateo Carreras trying to pierce the gap. He definitely hasn't had his standout performance like he had last week. And I like you, lad, says Jacobus, welcome in. Just too many mistakes coming from Argentina throughout this game. Cowboy up, says so I was thinking again. And also, we have got there, you're getting a different kind of audience. They got demand, brother, says Doctor. 52 in. Currently about 15 metres out from their own line here. The Springboks will have themselves a scrum feed. See what Egg Chaser say about South Africa and its people. He has just good words about the country and the people, says Andre G. And so again, when are you coming to South Africa? I'd like to at some stage before the next World Cup. I think it's the big goal. But I'd have to save a lot to be able to do so. Mani Libok receives that ball in the pocket from Hendrickse off the back of the scrum and does get that one way downfield with an impressive kick. What's the score, says Jacobus? At the moment, it is 27 points to 7, the way that it sits, and there are 53 minutes gone throughout this game. One more try. Secure South Africa the Rugby Championship, right, says War. So pretty much they're already in the position of a bonus point at the moment because they're 3 or more tries ahead than their opposition. But like at the moment, as long as they don't lose this game by 8 points, they will win the Rugby Championship. So unless Argentina answer back here with 28 unanswered points, it's in South Africa's. We got a super sticker from Philip as well. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated for your generosity. Jasper Visa has gone off the field. That is for Quagga Smith. Interesting choice. They've actually decided to go with Quagga rather than Elric Lowe. So maybe Elric Lowe going to come on as a 6 option later on for Kolisi. Over the ball, Malcolm Marks gives away the penalty though. Are you wearing pants, man? I am, believe it or not. But yeah, last week we didn't have them on. We had shorts instead. Exchange rate is in your favour, Hamish, says Michael. Was that yellow card upgraded? It was not, mainly based on the landing that we saw from Apalele Fasi. Like, if he landed on his neck, it would have 100% been a red card. And I feel like that's one of those laws that I'm, like, it's one of those ones that sometimes it should be a red, even if the player lands safely, because of the fact that he's done a full 360 in the air. And it should be the fact that he could have hurt himself, not so much the fact that he didn't. Is there a front row replacement for South Africa yet? So we've seen Malcolm Marks, and we also just saw Oxen Share go off, and that brought out the replacement of Gerhard Stennekamp, and also Vincent Koch, I do see, lurking around that rolling maul too. Manetsabeth trying to shut down the rolling maul. Vincent Koch making the tackle. Around the side of the breakdown, it's the big man Pedro Delgado. Doesn't make a huge amount of meters towards the try line. Juan Matan Gonzalez, another pick and go. Oh, Julio Montoya almost knocking that ball on the ground. Just frantic phases here for Argentina. Here comes Pablo Matera trying to bring that next level of intensity for the Pumas throughout the last 25 minutes of the game. 10 meters out from the line. Garcia goes across. Great low tackle on Lucio Cinti by Kurt Liarensa. Back across to the left-hand side again. Tackled by Itzebeth was Juan Matan Gonzalez, Thomas Gasho. Again, they're up to about 10 phases at the moment here for Argentina. Albanos with a pass on the outside. Apalele Fasi is there and ready to make the tackle. What is the time now? Still 25 minutes remaining. Counter-ruck coming from the Springboks, and they get the penalty as well. Just relentless from the green and gold today. And I think it was Quagga Smith managed to help win that penalty. Top streaming says Reddish Blue, thank you very much. Oh, hang on. The TMO are getting involved. What is this one going to be for? I think it's either against or in favour of Malcolm Marks. Now, I believe it might be against Malcolm Marks here. We have to wait and see whether or not it's going to be something serious. I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are only 200 away from 57,500. Okay, they're checking to see whether or not there is head contact here. Is that? Okay, Pablo Matera on Vincent Koch coming in from a long way out, in through the side. I don't know why they were showing Malcolm Marks. He had nothing to do with that breakdown. I think he was asking for the penalty. You're like me, you don't get angry that way. Thank you so much for streaming. Only way I can watch, go the box, says Amanda there as well. Now we're going to see Pablo Matera. Does he make head contact on Vincent Koch? I think there might have been a bit of connection there, and Brett has a big career ahead of you. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Is this going to be another yellow for Argentina? Already been relatively ill-disciplined throughout this match. Here we go. This angle will show it. It's on the ear. And there's movement in the head. They're saying there was a bit of movement in the wrap from Pablo Matera, so I think this will be yellow card maximum. Or is it just going to be a penalty? What's the outcome of the TMO? They are still deciding. There is force, though, from Pablo Matera. That angle made it look a lot worse. And when it was sped up to normal time, it's a yellow card for Matera. He will have to await to find out whether or not he will make his way back out onto the field, or whether that is a massive moment once again in this game. We have got there. How do you think the referee has been this game? He's been quite lenient in the breakdown, I believe, throughout this game, letting it flow a little bit more. Oh, Julio Montoya getting called over now. Yellow just for the mullet alone. And also, we're good there. I would tell him to F off, says Neil Harvey. But does that mean Vincent Koch is going to go for an HIA after getting hit in the head? I think he's all right. I don't think he took any serious damage from it, although there was force behind it. Looks like it's going to be now South Africa's penalty, about 12 metres out from their line. Quagga will play every position for the Bok before he retires, says Nicholas. I mean, he's very versatile off the bench, that is for sure. Quagga Smith, he's got the power of a forward, the pace of a back, and the nose of a boxer. But now it's going to be kicked into touch by the Springboks. You play rugby, you know there is a chance of injury. I really do hate this nonsense. If you sneeze at a player and it hurts his eyebrow, I'm Bok. And what is Lebok cooking? Says Mr. Marmite. Looks like there's going to be a change here. Damien Dialendi going off the field for Lucanio Arm. And thanks for the stream, South Africa, following the game from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Welcome in. And we love the game all the way, Bok. Looks like Malcolm Marks getting ready to throw this one in. I'm just looking to see what other changes have been made. Looks like Kobus Reinach is on the field now. Gus Shaw has been taken off for Calais for the Argentines. And I want to say Eldrick Lowe is the only change, apart from Pollard, that the Springboks have not made as of yet. Malcolm Marks throwing the ball in to Roan Nokia. Siakolisi, short ball there, straight into the hands of Gerhard Stennekamp. Aggressive run forward, Mani Lerbach. Again, going with that kick with the up and under. Slap back onto the side of the Bok. Lucanio Arm knocks it forward to Kurtli Arnsa. And it's going to be the penalty to the Argentines. And thanks for the coverage, South African watching in Costa Rica. And watching from Johannesburg there from Lynette. Farsi for the man of the match, hopefully. I think that he's definitely deserving of it from the way that he's played. Oh, that's a great bit of work at the back from Upper Lele Fassi. He just kept that ball from going out and then he kicked it out on the full, unfortunately. Or was he on the inside? I think he was just out of his 22 when he kicked that ball into touch. Upper Lele Fassi has a massive moment where he does some brilliance and then straight afterwards takes away from it. The West fans, the Boks, constantly trolling media posts with Bok Vitroil, awful fans, says Wolf. To be fair, like, we've met a lot of really nice South Africans on the channel, and I feel like, you know, it just depends on the ones that you get. Like, some fans are absolutely awesome. We've had a lot of them on the channel. Malcolm Marks hasn't been the same since his injury at the World Cup. I'd agree. I don't think he's quite found that next gear. He hasn't really got as many turnovers in the breakdown, but I think that might be because in the back of his mind, he's thinking about that heavily strapped knee and maybe a little bit worried he's going to re-injure it. Who's your man of the match? I would still go with Upper Lelefasi, currently 25 metres out from the line here. Argentina in possession. Now Garcia going across Alaba. Nice big shot coming in from Etzebeth. There's going to be a knock-on against South Africa. Mateo Carreras gets around the outside. Another mistake made by Argentina. You get very passionate, but misguided casual Bok fans, they can be embarrassing. Says Ethan. Player form is a real thing, not even talking about injury or coming back from injury. Players need something to play for, especially at the top. So many other options, says Mel. And yes, Fussy for man of the match, says Shaz. And who's playing good? I think that Fussy's had a really strong game. I think that Etzebeth, he's put in a decent shift. We've seen Mani Limok, like the fact that he hasn't got the kicking tee, he's certainly had a lot more freedom playing in this game and seems to have found a bit more confidence that he may not have had before. We don't have much to be proud of lately in South Africa, so we go hard when we get something to be proud of. So here's Monique. And Peter Steph-Toy, he's had a bit of a highlight reel game as well. In fact, you could almost list most of the Springboks. I would probably find it harder to list someone who had a bad game rather than someone who's had, like, a great game, if that makes sense. Jasper Wiese, he's been really good throughout this contest as well. Hendricks has had his moments. And also we've got the man of the match, should be Apalele Fassi. Looks like it's going to be another scrum here though, 59 minutes through. Have you ever tried, oh, there's a technical error, that's unfortunate. That should hopefully go away soon. One moment, we'll go like this. And we'll go like that as well. But Sia Khaleesi making his way from the field. He's now going to be rearing to go for the November internationals, unless he needs surgery. I know that was something that was mentioned quite a bit earlier on, and then it went from needing surgery to being able to play week after week. Go the Bok. There's Gideon there. Currently have got that 20-point lead. Not many points being scored in the second half, though. Pretty similar to what we saw in the first match between these two sides. Garcia, that one has collapsed. Now going off to the left-hand side. Little kick in behind from Lucio Sinti. It just stays. No, it rolls out. Now we have got there Pumas consistency or inconsistency revealed. Although they are a good team, says Clifford. And try announcing proper Afrikaans words. Kiwi Lad says, Klazina. Jou lekker ding. That's about all I know. And baie dankie. That's about all I've got. And great South African pronunciation. Must have some South African DNA or other exposures. Says Milbay. Thrown in by Argentina. Or sorry, by South Africa. Even Etzebeth manages to claim it. Now, if he does play in November, he will be able to extend as the most capped Springbok of all time. Kobus Reinach going to the short side. Isolating himself, though, and Argentina went for a counter ruck. But not able to get over. Now, Vincent Koch just out from the Springboks try line. It looks like they are setting up for that box kick. Get it downfield and clear their lines. Reinach does kick it out. And there will be now another line out for the Pumas. I love your commentary, says Gideon. Thank you very much. Hamish, that sounded lekker, says Albert there. And we have got there 18 minutes left. It certainly is. Or just over 19. 4 minutes 40 remaining of the yellow card for Argentina. Unless it is upgraded to a red, then that would mean that they do remain with 14 for most of the rest of the game. But Garcia goes to Mateo Carreras now. Breaks through the line. Reinach. I think he's saying that he was hit in the throat. Saying that he extended. Okay, Reinach's still tapping his throat. He's asking for the penalty. Nice run there from Ignacio Ruiz. Great hands from Oviedo. And diving over the breakdown, chiseling Colby. That will be a cynical foul. Now, he should be allowed to go for that if he stayed on his feet there. But unfortunately, did end up diving for. Right, sounds like they are going to check this one. Elbow to the neck, sir. I've just heard in the background. How about some video of the game? The highlights will be up on the Rugby Championship YouTube channel in probably about 35 minutes' time. So I do recommend checking out that one. And grateful for your commentary. Thank you, Kiwi. Says Lalani there. Anyone also seeing the birds flying across the screen? There were quite a few birds just before. If that's the same ones that we're talking about. Are they going upstairs for this one? Or is it going to be play on? Either way, Argentina have got themselves the penalty just for now. Where are you watching the match? I am watching it on Sky Sport 1, but it is also on DSTV, Stan Sport, and Flow Rugby as the other options. Now, Argentina, they will be 5 metres out with the throw of Ignacio Ruiz. They need it to be accurate. Anyone who is new to the channel, like I've said many times, be sure to hit that subscribe button, though. It's greatly appreciated. We are back a little bit later on today with the URC. We will be talking all about that alongside, of course, this game. But that is well taken down by the Springboks. They're trying to hold it in there. Jumping over the breakdown was Elric Lowe. Couple metres out from the line now for Argentina. Who's going to go for it? Looks like Franco Molina. He is crunched down 1 meter short. South Africa, they have to make sure that they stay onside. Juan Martin Gonzalez has dropped the ball. And Ruan Nokia pumps the fist. That is a big mistake from the Argentine 6. How is you lick it ding, says Mitchell. To be honest, they were lucky last weekend. This is a bomb squad. Tonight we're showing them who the number 1 team in the world is. South African all the way. Say who wants, says Alan. And keep him out, says cool story, bro. And there as well. But still 2 minutes remaining of their Pablo Matera yellow card. And it's a high degree of danger, so it will be upgraded to a red. No more Pablo Matera for this match. No more Pablo Matera, perhaps, for the November internationals. Calling him over, though, or at least the captain to let him know. 17 of the side played last week, says Trajan. It's foul play because he comes from distance. High speed, high force, red card for Pablo Matera, which is a shame because he was one of the only Argentines it seemed that was going to be bringing a bit of physicality, but unfortunately he used it in all the wrong ways. Must have spent too much time with Marcos Crema. Bomb squad is so quiet now, says Zanny. And thank you so much, Mr. Commentator. Thank you very much, Lena, for being here. Like I said, anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Andre Vermeulen has given us the Brunners and Coke money. Thank you very much, mate. Are you independent from any national rugby team, says Brunette? I am from New Zealand, but we always call the games as close to down the middle as we physically can. Still another 17 minutes remaining on the clock. And South Africa will have the scrum feed 5 metres out from their own try line. How's possession? Similar to first half? Very similar, yep. South Africa haven't really allowed too many metres to be made. Who has the copyright? Sansa, as well as Stan Sport, as well as DST, or Super Sport, sorry, as well as Sky Sports and Flow Rugby all have the copyright. So if any of those decide that they want to strike you, and a lot of them do it automatically, then you get banned for 3 months. And Animus said, yeah, bro, fantastic commentary. Thank you very much. Put it on for the old man in hospital, and he laughs through it. Cheers, says Adam. So hopefully does get better soon. Vincent Cocky has got an ugly gash on the forehead here. It looks like he's had a stud right through the centre. Second half was not so exciting. And what's happening now, says Tato, it is once again another scrum feed. The exact same position as they did have the reset. Kabis Rainak. Do you put it in? How do you get to work? I drive. Rainak feeds it in pretty much to the locks, if we're being honest, and the penalty goes the way of the Springboks again. Their scrum has been outstanding throughout this match. They don't know what we know. Says Herzog there. And come on, Kirtley, you've got a try in you. And Hamish has a car, says Mr. Marmite. How much time left, says Lena. Still another 16 minutes remaining in this match. Armani Libok once again will be able to kick this one towards touch. And I know a lot of people like to give him a lot of stick, Armani Libok, but he's had a good game here. He's been able to set up a lot of the tries. One thing I'll give Argentina, their colours barely show sweat. Says Infernal RSA. And we have got there, which part of New Zealand are you from, Hamish? I am in the South Island, about halfway up. And what do you do for work? I think you've mentioned it. I am a builder, or a part-time builder, because normally I have to take Mondays off due to the weekends. Now, ready to throw this one in. Malcolm Marks goes in. Nicely claimed by Peter Steftatoy. Now Reinach slings it across. Jesse Krill in behind to Mani Lebok. Great draw and pass out to Kurtley Arinsa. I have to say, the Springboks, they still seem like they have the intent to be able to score one more try at least here. Reinach, hands on the ball, goes off to Itzebeth, in behind to Lebok. Finds Upper Lelefasi. Jesse Krill, another step from him. He's had an outstanding Rugby Championship competition. Up to the left-hand side, Nokia goes off to Elric Lowe, almost busted through. Mani Libok again to Fassi. That has been a combo that has worked brilliantly throughout today, but that pass from Fassi just manages to evade the whole team and goes into touch. Kiwi's trying to mention the Afrikaners' names are like sheep growling, says Dossi there. And Lebok has had a good game. It's pressure that gets to him, says Stato. And another card for the Pumas, says Trajan. Yeah, they've had 2 throughout this game, a red card and a yellow. And up against a side like South Africa, you just can't afford to be down a man. Andre Pollard now makes his way onto the field. The crowd are absolutely loving it. And Marnie Libok makes his way from the field to a standing ovation. Oh no, she's asleep. I think it was an Argentinian supporter. She was out to it. She was having a nap. How do you have a nap at the rugby? You'd assume a long flight, but surely it's loud enough to keep you awake at the ground. Kobus Reinach going short ball to Kwaka Smith. Starts to pump his legs. Again, they go off to Peter Steph de Toy. Can't quite get his offload away. Reinach works it away to Malcolm Marks. They're inside of the 22 at the moment here for South Africa. Inside ball to Jesse Krill. The issue isn't cards the majority of the time. It's discipline or it's professional athletes lacking discipline, says Kerr. On again to the short side. Lucanio arm, look for the offload. That looked like a deliberate knockdown there from Santiago Herreras. It is just called as a knock on though. Isn't it crazy for you that 7.5k people are watching you? It is absolutely insane. And we've had a lot of support all throughout this rugby championship. We're going to hopefully see a lot of familiar faces in terms of you guys in the chat for the November internationals, as well as a bit of the URC. Oh, they're going upstairs. TMO will be checking this to see if Santiago Herreras has knocked that ball on as well. And has he knocked it on deliberately? I finished your song, remember me? I actually do, because of the channel name. Of course, I remember it from Modest Pelican. Yep, 2 more tries for the box. There's Anthony B. And can you let us know from time to time where the players on the field just cross the halfway line or they're inside Argentina's 22? Thanks, says Lobo. So this one did take place about 15 metres out from Argentina's line. And it's going to be a massive decision. Because if he has deliberately knocked this one down, you'd have to say that that is possibly intentional. He didn't have much of a crack of catching that ball. You still sound like a side, says Dossie there. That's a bit confusing, isn't it? Not really making sense. Having a nap, Brandy, mate, says Chris Bota. And 10 out of 10 for pronunciation, brother. And another yellow card, says Jonathan. Yep, I think this is going to be another one going to the bin for Argentina. This time Santiago Herreras, the fullback, will be gone from the field. South Africa have made as a do out of our defence. Will you accept an invitation from Supersport or Sky Sports to commentary live rugby? I don't think I'd ever get an invitation, to be honest. Okay, it wasn't a genuine attempt. There's an overlap, so it's a yellow card for Santiago Herreras. This game's just getting bad to worse at the moment for the Argentines. 13 minutes remaining. How good there, Lebok is still shocking, says David, although you got to give him some sort of credit for this game. He did very well in terms of setting up Upper Lelefasi for his 2 tries, assisting pretty much everything that happened out there on the field. Lebok and Fasi, and tries scored, says Jonathan there as well. But 12 minutes remaining in this match, 5 metres out from the line here. Argentina will have to try and defend. Another dangerous rolling maul of the Springboks. Bazin Velez makes his way on. That is for Gonzalo Garcia. And now Malcolm Marks to throw the ball in. Does go straight to Elric Lowe. I believe it's in the hands of Malcolm Marks currently at the back of the Springboks. Rolling maul. It is making meters. And I don't think Argentina are going to be able to shut this one down. Mark's still marching forward and he gets over for the try for the Springboks. And that is now going to be their 5th of the game. So if the Rugby Championship wasn't already secured, it certainly is now. But that is their first try of the second half, I should mention. So it's taken a little while, something that they weren't able to do throughout the second half of the last contest. But Malcolm Marks getting over the line. And the Springboks advancing towards a victory. A fantastic box, says Alice. And there as well, an excellent commentary, says W. Finn Vake, thank you very much. Oh, that's not down, was it? Is it just me or was that on the player's boot? I gave him credit for it, but from that angle, it didn't actually look like he ever grounded the ball. It looked like it was just completely on the foot, but it is still a try for Malcolm Marx. Marx now the top try scorer for the Springboks? I believe so, yes. Right, we're going to see the replay here for Malcolm Marx. Did he get this down and then... They've just said about well refereed by Ben O'Keefe. The replay didn't show a grounding. But, like, it still should have been. The closeness to the line are almost guaranteed to go over. Andre already kicked in conversion, says Nicholas. He certainly has 34 points to 7 now. And counts, bruh, says Ghostoria. Well done, Mark, says Shaz. Nicely taken by Eldrick Lowe. Inside of the 22, not grounded, no try, says Kerr. Now Etzebeth in behind. Andre Pollard, rough pass, but somehow Quagga Smith has been able to take it with a dive and catch. Lucanio arm pierces through the gap, finds the pass on the outside to Jesse Creel. He just needs the link-up play, but couldn't quite find it. And Argentina over the ball. Molina could have had the turnover, but referee Ben O'Keefe says play on. Apalele Fassi with the cross kick. There is no one out there. And did Kurtley Arendse ground it? He's not sure. I think they're going to claim it. Yes, they do. And it's another try for the Springboks. Kurtley Arendse. He's had a quiet day out on the wing. But he now gets another. Argentina should be ashamed of themselves. I don't think they have much to be ashamed of. They beat every side in this rugby championship, beating New Zealand in New Zealand, beating Australia after being down by 20 points, beating South Africa, the world champs. That is a great cross kick from Apalele Fassi. I don't think he grounded that, Kurtley Arendse, but I think James Dolman said it was good. Nah, didn't. Ugh. I don't think he got it there, Kurtley Arendse, unfortunately. Are they going to have a look at it? Or is it going to remain a try? On-field decision is try. And Marnie says Andre score update. Says Starbo at the moment it is 39, but it could go back to 34 if this one is not grounded by Kurtley Arendse. Now, I will mention he didn't look completely convinced. Nah, that's a no try. No grounding of the ball for Kurtley Arendse. Hamish, leave us alone. It's over the line, says Sino. Now we have got there. They thought they would walk over us, Bunny. Says Alan. And you don't think they grounded anything, says Byron. I mean, to be fair, Marx did not ground that last one and Arendse knocked that ball on. So I'm only telling you what's happened. But if you think that this one's grounded, I would be quite surprised. Kurtley Arendse. Hang on. Are they saying this is a try? Springboks are walking back to halfway. Needs a press with the body, which he does not have. Here for Kurtley Arendse. It's the last game, says Themba. It certainly is. Finish the box, says Michael. In there as well. There is no press. It's going to be no try. Fair play. His body just missed it, says Inferno. What are they checking? Are they checking for a knock on here? Never in possession. No press of the ball. We have got there. They actually beat our B team, Kiwi Lad. Most of our players who are featuring in today's game were not playing last week, says Vuyo. I think someone mentioned that 17 of the players were playing last week. But, you know, it still wasn't the strongest lineup. I will admit that. But at the same time, Argentina bet what was in front of them. They couldn't say, you know, like, we don't want this win because you weren't playing your strongest side. Like, in the history books, Argentina won. And it was a massive win as well to come back from being down by 3 tries or 2 tries early on to then be able to fight back and get a victory over a side that finished so well like South Africa, like you still have to give Argentina some credit for what they've done in this Rugby Championship. 40 metres out. It's going to be, once again, another opportunity for South Africa. Ruan Nokia ball on the outside to Apalele forever busy. Peter Steftatoi gets it out wide to Kurtley Arendse. He wants to guarantee himself one here, but he's dragged down just marginally short of the try line. And Peter Steftatoi is over again. Just mentioned how busy he was, and he's just got himself his second of the contest in the 72nd minute. Peter Steftatoi, it's a race between him and Apalele at the moment to see who can get a hat-trick, and they still have time. And we have there, thanks for your great commentary. We're out of the country, so happy we found your channel, said Lobo. Thank you very much. And we have there, Fussy is on fire. And there as well. And just, tell you what, he's powered his way over there, Peter Steftatoi. The fact that he is still running at that speed at this stage of the contest, we've got to remember they're still playing in heat. Andre Pollard, the kick is over, and that will now make the score 41 points to 7 in favour of the Springboks. Argentina desperate for final whistle at this stage, says Kerr. How many games left of the series? There are none whatsoever. So the Springboks, they have secured the Rugby Championship. All they needed to do was not lose this game by 8. And they have gone out there and they've said, how about we win it by 40 and make a bit of a statement. We have there that guy told Argentina going to make Bok meat, says JP. And Champions is everything rugby. And we back for real. Now the Argies still on the field. They are just less of them. There's only 13 on the field at the moment for Argentina. Now the big crashing run. Kobus Reinach goes across to Eben Etzebeth. Pollard, Apalele Fasi. His hands have not let him down throughout this game, managing to catch pretty much anything that is thrown at him. He has made Paul passes look great out there on the field. And thanks for this first class commentary, Hamish, says Hillary. Now Nokia going back across. Oh no, he's just dropped it. He's just dropped it cold in one of the easiest passes he has received of the day. That is, unfortunately, the commentator's curse, ladies and gents. Because other than that, he has been perfect with the hands. And I literally just bigged him up. I said, what a game he's had with the hands. And then that one was a nice, easy pass that he's put it straight through. This is my go-to Springbok commentary on the internet. Good job. Do go, Hamish, says Dallas. And the championship is ours, says Aurora. The first time since 2019, the Springboks get their hands on that Rugby Championship. Well done, Hamish, says Ethan, and thank you, Hamish, says Tatiana. And Hamish for the win, says Derek. And open the floodgates, says Juan there. It's going to be Bazin Velez to feed this ball in. Still 5 minutes left. There is plenty of time for 1 or 2 more tries throughout this contest. Good game, good commentary. And Hamish Pumas, man of the match. In terms of the best Argentine player out there on the field, I'll probably still give it to Albanoz. Like, with the limited possession Argentina have had in this contest, he has still made the most of it. He scored the lone try for Argentina as well. The number 1 spot is ours again, Ireland in second. That is sadly not correct, because Argentina were more than 7 points lower in the world rankings than South Africa. They don't receive any sort of decimal point from this game. And update the clock. The clock is currently right. It is 75 minutes through. That one's actually wrong now that I've made it update itself. But now it's going to go through the ears, or through the legs, I should say, rather than through the ears. Bazin Velez trying to fend Pollard. A little bit of relentlessness coming here, and he's managed to get the counter ruck for Andre Pollard. He's come out on the field as if he's been, like, told that he's not getting started minutes anymore or something. He has looked fired up, Andre Pollard here. Kobus Reinach sells the dummy, goes almost through the gap. Here comes Elric Lowe. He's going to go himself, and he's blown the try because he wanted the glory. Malcolm Marks, 10 metres out from the try line. Now Argentina scrambling with their 13. Reinach goes across to Etzebeth. Wouldn't that be a fitting way to close out this game? Etzebeth in the most capped Springbok test match to get himself the try. How much time is left? Still another 3.5 minutes. There is a knock-on advantage against Argentina In fact, I think there's actually a penalty advantage here. Now Reinach goes to Pollard, tries the cheeky kick and it's worked. And Jesse Krill scores a much-deserved try from not just this game, but also from the way that he's played throughout the whole of the Rugby Championship. He has been an absolute workhorse for the South Africans, starting every single game and now scoring maybe the final try of the Rugby Championship for the Springboks. And they are eyeing up 50 points now, ladies and gentlemen. They're getting close. They may be able to do it. Thank you for the unbiased commentary. Hamish, good job, mate. Says Imagine. Thank you, Hamish. It sucks as a South African. Where did that go? It went very fast. We rely on you telling us about the game because we can't afford DSTV. But we are going to be here all throughout November. So for anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. We are almost at 57,500. We're only 50 away. So let's see if we can get there before full time is over. But Andre Pollard gets the kick over, 48 points to 7. This game has been one-sided. And Argentina just really haven't lived up to the expectations. But like I said, still a tremendous Rugby Championship competition for the Pumas. They will finish third, though, in the overall standings. New Zealand will finish second. And, of course, South Africa at the top of the bunch. Boks have won this game, says Lynette. And there's a brutal Pumas. Listen, and Bok says Sino 10. Thanks, Hamish, says Neil. And there as well. But now 1 minute 30 remaining. Argentina back to 15 players on the field. The next game that we are covering on the channel, ladies and gents, will be starting in about an hour and 30 minutes time. That is going to be Stormers versus Ospreys. We will get to see Damien Valimza in action, a man who might be feeling a bit nervous after this Apalele Fasi performance that we have just seen. 7 tries for the Springboks, 1 try for the Pumas in this game. It has been certainly one-sided, but 1 minute left. Ignacio Ruiz. Can Argentina finish on a high for this Rugby Championship? Getting ready to throw this one, and they've gone to the front to Juan Martin Gonzalez. And right to the final whistle, the Springboks are still using that rush defense, getting up in the face of this Puma side, making it ugly, making them uncomfortable. Great run forward from Pedro Rubiolo. Buzzin Velez goes on the outside to Santiago Carreras. And now Argentina moving to the 22. Looking for the turnover was Kurt Liarensa, Julio Montoya. In fact, this time it's going to be Ignacio Calles. Buzzin Velez goes to the left-hand side. They've got the chance to score last in this Rugby Championship, but they would have to do it soon. 18 seconds remaining on the clock. In behind. Nice run forward from Albanoz. If anyone was going to be able to set it up, it would be that man. Trying to go for the pick and go from Buzzin Velez. Trying to milk the penalty. Referee says no. Ignacio Ruiz with another step. Here's Quagga Smith. Has he got the turnover? No, he's given away the penalty advantage instead. Out to the right. To the hands of Jaquan Oviedo. Buzzin Velez to Albanoz. Pierces through one. Elric Lowe stops him in his tracks. Bounce pass out to Santiago Carreras. Passing out wide to Juan Martin Gonzalez. Knocked down by Jesse Krill, and they'll go back for the original penalty. Awesome commentary, Hamish. Much appreciated. Says more digital media. Thank you very much, mate. And we have got there. And one more try for the Bokke. Says Stu. I think with where we are on the field, I don't think South Africa would try and get one more try. I think that they would more than likely kick for the touchline if they were to get the turnover, but we are going to see another line out coming for Argentina here. Sia Khaleesi looking razor focused at the moment. He doesn't want one last try to go against his side. Rassi Erasmus currently getting some headphones disconnected and whatnot. The coaches are packing up. They know the job is done, and they know the Rugby Championship is in the cabinet. Ignacio Ruiz ready to throw this ball in. Last chance for Argentina to make a statement in this Rugby Championship, although, of course, their statement will not be as sufficient as the Springboks, who are driving that one towards the touchline. It's going to be dragged down, no advantage, going the way of Argentina. Looks like they've trapped that ball in there. Still penalty advantage. Bazin Velez. On back to Albanos. Tries the cross kick. Fussy. Oh, is that a deliberate knockdown? I don't think it is. He just didn't quite claim it, and they will go back for another penalty in favour of Argentina. Tell you what, the penalty stat, it was looking very good for the Springboks. We're going to see maybe it looked not so nice at the end of this with an extra 2 or 3 added on. But neither of these sides seem to want this game to end. They want to keep on playing. Bazin Velez now. Looks like they're just going to go with a quick tap here rather than going for the line out. He's been told that he must tap it. Ignacio Ruiz now. Only 5 metres out the line. Bazin Velez goes back across to Santiago Rondona. The question is it going to be a last-minute Argentine try, or are we going to see a little bit of last-minute brilliance from one of the Springboks? They've managed to hold up the Argentine who freed up the ball, but Argentina have conceded the ball back to the South Africans who are just holding this one up. Vincent Koch hanging on to it. The ball is out up. There's some push and shove, and it's kicking off here between these two sides. Not what we want to see right at the end of the contest in a game that has been aggressive, but it's also been respectful. Now both sides cramming each other from the throat there between Malcolm Marx and Santiago Rondona. Referee blowing the whistle. This game's going to end a little bit ugly, but either way, I believe... Hang on. They're checking to see if there's foul play involved here. Ben O'Keefe just getting everyone back. I think he's going to blow the full-time whistle here. The maul was held up. It's a turnover. It's the end of the game. And the Rugby Championship goes the way of the Springboks. 5 wins of their 6 games. Rassie Erasmus, the smile on his face. A very late join after. Nice one, Box, says Caitlin. And there as well, you're so animated and excited. I'm trying to see what you're seeing, says Joey there. And the Box, thank you, Hamish, for the brilliant commentary. And thanks, Hamish, in there from the chat as well. But nonetheless, bit of an exciting rugby championship. I do have to say that. So many matches that could have gone either way. Couple blowouts like we've seen here. But overall, a lot of excitement and a lot learnt, I think, for the Springboks. They've learned that Apalele Fassi, he is the future number 15. I would still give him man of the match in this game, even though Peter Steph Toy was trying extremely hard to get it. But you can't give it to Peter Steph every week, even though that man normally has man of the match performances just time after time. I think that we've learnt that in the forward pack, there are a few changes that they may want to make towards the future. Ruan Nokia, I think, is the 5, the way that he has been playing. And wild on the block, says Heaney in there as well. But Etzebeth, he will be going out on a high for his 128th test match. Of course, he is going to be back. And he's going to have maybe 20 plus more caps under his belt by the end. But Malcolm Marx, and off the bench, Vincent Koch. There's some battle wounds out there on the field for both of these sides. Hit the like and subscribe, says Kerr there. Yeah, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is greatly appreciated. You all being here for this match. We have still got the URC that we are going to be covering in 1 hour and 30 minutes time. Stormers taking on will be Ospreys. And then also alongside that, we'll keep you updated about what is happening in the Sharks game that has taken place, because they are going head-to-head up against Connacht. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a co-commentary type scenario there. But I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to have a post-match review of this game where we look through at a few of the interesting stats and everything along those lines. Thanks, Box, for putting Argentina in their place. Got way too cocky with their last win, says JP. And thank you for the awesome commentary, says Anna Marie there, and game over, says Miss. So yeah, the Rugby Championship going the way of the Springboks. The scoreboard doesn't want this. Oh no, now it's just ended as well. We have got there, thank you, Hamish, says Anthony, and brilliant, thanks so much. And of course, we are going to be back for the November internationals on the channel as well. We'll be joining just to make up for missing your voice during this game, says Caitlin there as well. But yeah, you'll have to put up with my voice for 2 more hours today, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to our 8th hour of commentary, if not a little bit more. We've still got a little bit more to go where we will talk all about the URC games as well as, I guess, this match and break it down just a little bit more as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Man of the match, it could have gone to pretty much any of the Springboks side. I don't think too many players were making huge mistakes. Peter Steph and 2 more hours, boo, says Mr. Marmite. And Hamish, you need to sleep, shame, says Sino. Yeah, I think today we're probably going to get like 2 hours of sleep. And it's going to be Peter Steph who does get the Man of the Match award. Hamish, to translate in English, it said they don't know what we know. And also, we have got the I Hope Australia shows up next time. And what has been your favourite match? Ooh. Favourite match is tricky. Because we've had some very good ones. I would say, like, first match between New Zealand and South Africa, I think was a pretty awesome one to watch. In terms of just as a spectacle, from a neutral standpoint, that would be one of those games that I honestly think people would say was the best of the Rugby Championship. The game between South Africa and Argentina last week, I think people would also argue was one of the more entertaining games that we've seen of the Rugby Championship as well. Kiwi lads all the way. Our most fair commentary by far of all these YouTube channels. Big thanks. Says Bruce, thank you very much. I love the commentary, says Sally. And man of the match is Kiwi lad. And there as well, says Justin. And that's all, folks, says Anime. At least for now. We've got an hour 25 until their next live stream. That has taken place for the URC. It's going to be Stormers taking on the Ospreys. It's such a disgrace. You should be ashamed of such a biased referee in every action of the game. You are world champions. You really need all the extra help, says Gustavo. I mean, even with some refereeing decisions, even if they were poor, like, it's 41 points. Like, that's a big difference in terms of it. Like, if it was 1 try, maybe there's an argument, right? But it was 7 tries to 1. That means that there were 6 tries scored. Waking up at 3 a.m. to put on a suit is commendable, says Robert Wood. To be fair, I haven't slept yet. So, you know, waking up at normal waking up hours, 10 a.m. or something, yesterday. You can't say 40 points is biased, that's skill, says WTPP. And we have good there. Love you guys so much. Much love from South Africa, says Martin. And we have also got there, thanks so much, boy. And great commentary. You need to make a rugby or a video for your Rugby Championship Dream Team. I am going to be doing one hopefully either tonight or tomorrow for the team of the tournament. The thing is, though, it's going to be very hard to have less than about 7 South Africans in that team of the tournament, just because there have been so many great players for them throughout this competition. Like, Peter Steph Toy's got to be in that team of the tournament. Roa Nokia, you could argue, in that number 5 jersey, has done enough to be there. And then you've also got, I mean, Jesse Krill in that 13 jersey has been great. Upper Lele Fussy at 15. I don't know whether they give it to him for the overall competition when you come into South Africa, hopefully before the next World Cup. But it may still be a little way away as I have to try and make money first so that I can afford to. Make it easy for yourself. Just make it all South African players. That would get the comment section fired up, wouldn't it? I mean, I might also do my best South African lineup throughout this competition, which I think would also be a decent video idea. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. One of South Africa's tries was not a try. The other 6 were, though. So they still won this game comfortably. Nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We will be doing our post-match review in the very near future, so be sure to check that out as well. But nonetheless, I will see you all for the next one.